Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Slime Chapter 3. I almost said Anime Church, and I was like, wait, down, that's the wrong thing. We did that yesterday. I'm kind of in that mood because the Bleach announcement was finally done. Disney finally was like, hey guys, it's coming out on Hulu in the US and Disney Plus everywhere else. And it was like, yeah. And then we found out why it took so long, and that pissed me off even more. That pissed me off more than anything. They waited so long because they were waiting for the licensing rights to run out so that Crunchyroll had to remove Bleach from their entire library. Check it. It's gone from Crunchyroll's library. Bleach no longer exists on Crunchyroll. They waited until it was over so they can say, we have all of Bleach on Hulu and Disney Plus, and you can check it out here. And it's like, why are you dangling? Because Disney bought the streaming rights. Yeah, Disney bought the licensing and streaming rights. The licensing rights expired. At least I believe they bought the licensing rights. Yes. All right. Shim is unmuted. You guys can hear Shim now. I could always hear Shim, but now I grant you permission to hear Shim too.
Hello.
Yeah. So yeah, you could barely hear him. No, it wasn't that you could barely hear him. It was that you only could hear him from my headphones because he was muted on the OBS thing. So you weren't technically hearing him.
Good.
Okay, so it looks like he's cleaning up for the day, so maybe we're good.
You know, probably not talk about that while we're live. Just don't. Not a live discussion.
Yeah.
But
that's good,
just
though.
Just a heads up. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the okay.
Yeah.
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 That'd be
We're
right.
live.
People
can
hello.
hear you now. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
Does that make Yoruichi a Disney princess?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Definitely makes Rukia one. Or Hime, certainly. Wait, does that make Ichigo a Disney prince? All right, so
I don't know if those were things.
So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
Why is it on Disney though?
Because they outbid Crunchyroll.
I know, but it's just thinking like, why?
Don't
Hulu
know.
I can understand because it has anime, but Disney's trying to dip their toes in the water.
Disney owns Hulu.
Oh yeah, that's true now. I forgot. I forget that now. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many?
Don't they own now?
But the thing is, it's only on Hulu in the U.S. Bleach is only on Hulu in the U.S.
Okay.
I don't have Hulu. I never wanted Hulu. So I never bought it. I didn't even get the Disney Plus Hulu package because I didn't want Hulu. And now everybody's like, are you going to buy Hulu? Nah.
No.
I already know how the show's going to go.
You should get Hulu because you get Disney Plus with it if you get the bundle. What now?
I'm not getting the bundle. I don't care about Hulu.
Yeah.
I mean, if
here's the
worse
thing,
come to
guys.
worse, you could
Here's
just
the thing.
buy it.
Once again, it's not something that is dire. I don't care.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't care. Let me know if you're going to get Hulu. That's the important thing because
I already have it.
I read the manga. I already know how the 1,000-Year Blood War is going to go. And I'm going to see all the action stuff. Like, you guys are going to post clips on YouTube. I already know this is going to go up. So anything badass that happens, I'm going to fucking see it. It's going to go up on YouTube. That's what I did for
One Piece. I was like, I can't sit here and watch all of it, but I will watch the fights I like.
Spider goes Hulu's better than Disney Plus. Lol. You have those backwards. You have that backwards, sir. Disney Plus is better than Hulu.
You get Hulu because you can get Disney Plus.
No, Hulu used to be its own thing, and then Disney bought it up. I don't know what Hulu is like now, but I've always hated Hulu, just because they were always like, "Hey, you could pay to, you can pay us to not have ads. Oh no, that version that you paid to not have ads, you still get ads."
Yep.
You fucking
and now it's more expensive.
And ever since they lied to me about that, I've never, like, at least Netflix gave us a heads up. Hulu did it after the fact. They just were like, oh yeah, by the way, we now did this. Disney is a shit company that you literally hope burns violently. Well,
I understand the sentiment, but
No,
good luck.
no.
It will never burn.
Good luck.
There's too much
Good
going.
luck.
There's too much important
They're
shit
way
that they
too-
own. There's too much important shit that they own that I like that I cannot wish that upon Disney. So no.
Metaphorically,
Sadly,
or
it's like that in Google. No matter how much you want them to burn, it's never gonna happen.
it's you can't touch them.
EC,
Nobody
it
can touch
doesn't
'em.
matter. It doesn't matter because you watch it on Disney. You watch it on Disney Plus. There's no Hulu stuff for you.
That's true.
Also, doesn't matter to me either. I have Disney Plus and a VPN, so.
Mm-hmm.
Teehee.
So it works.
And I feel like there's a lot of people in the U.S. that have the same situation that are gonna do that. But
I tried to buy the series when I can, but a lot of things aren't going out on like DVD or Blu-ray, which kind of sucks. So.
Everything's streaming now, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know, but I like
And
having
DVD,
physical media.
And DVD
Yes.
and
I don't know.
Blu-ray is like hella stupid. It's getting expensive now for like 12 episodes being like $50 fucking dollars. It's like no.
Yeah,
No,
especially for anime. and
That's
stuff,
not.
but-
That's not. No.
Mm-mm.
That's not okay. All right.
I mean,
so,
you don't even get started on like the video game physical and like digital sales.
Shim, your camera die?
No, I am
Uh-oh.
changing right now. I forgot that I am wearing my super long, uncomfortable pants.
Oh, I should probably
give
get
me one
mine
sec.
set up going for that too. 1 second.
Ugh. It'll
Okay.
be quick.
It's very much a double-edged sword with Disney. They own everything, which means some stuff will get funded better, but the same time they're likely to forget some things that people love, etc. Keep in
Yeah,
mind,
so it's-
Disney used to put out in the West everything that Ghibli produced, or I'm sorry,
Yep.
Ghibli.
They were a publisher, right, or a producer?
They were
Yeah.
subscribed to Shim's OnlyFans. I know I am. Oh no,
Yep. Secret recording for that.
secret recording on his OnlyFans.
Mhm.
OnlyFans.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Oops, that's the wrong thing.
Subscribe
My
to the Fat
pants have
Dog
magically
Studios.
changed.
Why is Fat Dog Studios OnlyFans account mostly just pictures of Shim?
I have no
Oh,
recollection
son
of
of a
this,
bitch.
but
Also, why is it called Fat Dong Studios? So,
Fat Dong Studios. I was only. Fa-
we have finally figured out and have worked out the financials and all this other stuff for our trip to Atlanta at the end of the month for AWA.
yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah,
Mhm.
hot Atlanta.
There we go.
And then we're trying to
Oh.
figure out.
Good.
Then we're trying to figure out like what other major cons we're gonna try and attend for next year. Yeah, because we want to hit up like certain portions of the country and be like, hey,
We're here.
we exist. Come check our content out. So I'm his only fan. Oh God.
Mm.
All right. ALA.
So he was pounding away there. I don't think I assume any of you didn't
So
hear that.
if any of you are
I didn't.
No? Okay. Maybe Discord's really good with that.
okay, so if any of you are down with Anime Los Angeles or know some of the stuff there and could help us out, I'm curious what's going on. Oh Jesus, that's the beginning of the year. That may or may not happen. Anime Los Angeles is January 5th through the 8th.
No.
Oh.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
Early registration is
That's-
open. I don't know.
Yeah, that's 4 days. That's a lot of tickets.
Well, it's the 5th
Well, not
through the
tickets, but,
8th.
you know.
That's not too bad. But that's
How
like
much would it
really
be?
early in the year.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant like day wise. I
Guess
was like, that is a pretty long time though.
I'm actually curious how this looks on, because this is a new pair of headset. I got the like Razer Essential whatever. So I'm curious if it's like, nah, I'm not. Nope. They
You look like a
too
Katamari
stupid.
character.
I've heard it.
They're very
I do.
wide. Yeah.
I've
How
heard it's,
come everyone else like the small earmuff ones?
I've heard it's more interesting to get into as far as like actually like programming badge. We'll pick up programming registration table, main table, room 101A. Main there, signs in 10 less badges.
I mean, the biggest one here is Wasabi. Well, not Wasabi. NDK
I don't know if it's
or
too,
the Denver Comic Con. So
Is it too early or too late to? The biggest one is there. Oh, Denver Comic Con. No.
yeah. Oh wait, sorry. They call it the Pop Culture Con now because
Yeah,
they
no,
can't
no,
have
no.
DCC.
Guys. guys. Let me calm that down. Let me calm that down.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for the anime specific stuff, not comic.
Oh,
Or,
okay. So
or
NDK.
the pop culture stuff. That
Yeah, the
kind of
pop
stuff.
culture con.
Yeah, not those, because those are industry con. You need to find out the difference between industry cons and fan cons. Like fan run cons and industry cons are two different things. San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con, Anime Expo, those are industry cons.
Even Anime Expo?
Yeah, Anime Expo is an industry con.
Okay, I've never
There's
been.
a bunch
so
of
I don't know.
Texas cons that are industry cons too. Like it's pretty much industry run. Everybody
okay.
goes to check out because the big boys show up. That's all everybody goes to check out.
Yeah.
Here's the
okay.
thing.
That makes sense.
If you go to San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con and you have some small little panel, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Who knows? If we
That's not a big name, so.
if we went and did something like a panel, I mean, to us it would be amazing that we even got a panel at San Diego or New York Comic Con. But who would know to show up? Especially for something. All right, first off, we're already pretty niche because it's just the anime subgenre of the nerd culture, but also it's abridged. And then on top of that, it's Log Horizon Slime-esque area. Like, Fat Dog, we only cover, like, the isekai area of anime. For now. For now.
No Overlord yet.
Can we cover some shoujo anime?
Overlord is still isekai.
Yeah, covering that one yet. That's what I was mentioning.
Also, before you start throwing that out there and getting people excited about that, please note that the same fucking company that does Shield Hero is also the one that does Overlord, and they're worse about Overlord copyright. So
that's their baby.
Don't give people hope that they should not just have yet. Don't throw these things out there as if like there's a serious conversation.
Well, it's good that we're establishing it now.
Don't give them the idea that there's a serious conversation in the works at Fat Dog. We've kicked the idea around. Like we've been like it's kind of like it was like it'd be cool if we could do this, but hot potato. It's like no.
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten farther than like we don't need that kind of heat. Let's focus on the shit we've got to focus on right now.
So what you're saying is we're not getting over the hedge abridged.
If we were gonna do that, it's way in the future. Please stop. Please stop. Because I know that if we do an Overlord abridged, I'm the one that's gonna be harangued with the questions for it. You put the statement out, and I'm the one that's gonna feel the pressure. No, you keep your mouth shut. No, I have to do this to Tony. Now I have to do this to Sonic because he says words and then I get the harassment. When's Overlord abridged? When's Overlord abridged? We never said we were going to do one, but Sonic said. Sonic didn't say shit. Sonic doesn't control this. Sonic doesn't have the inside scoop. Don't go telling lies. The last thing we need.
Sorry, guys, you're not getting.
You didn't hear anything from me, but.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry.
All right. Sonic is leaving. He is now banned. It's been nice to have you on these Slime Light novel readings, man. It's been great.
Farewell.
We're gonna bring in his replacement, Palpatine.
Nope. No, yeah, I hope you all like Palpy for the Valley while you had him. He's gone now.
So I have
Ninja Jutsu.
Start this kind of nonsense here. Oh, where's Ninja Turtles abridged? It's on somebody else's fucking channel. That's where it's at. Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Leonardo. Whoa.
Dude, here's the thing. If you want an Overlord abridged, there's a group that already does that. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. There's already a channel that does that.
They probably have their fair share of headaches.
Sonic is not pressuring us into this, and neither are you. Bad. Don't. No, I'm not having it. I'm not. No, not okay. Jesus.
Oh, excuse me.
I agree.
Yeah.
That is, fuck it. Good God, what have y'all gotten me into? Jesus. It was supposed to be me yelling at Bleach, and now I'm yelling at my staff. Okay, new rule.
I was memeing.
New rule. Okay?
Mhm.
New rule for live streams. And I feel like I need to drag Tony into this call for this. But new rule for live streams. Any potential or not potential series that we are covering or not covering, shut up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go blabbing about something that we may or may not be doing potentially in the future. Whether it's just a joke or not, don't do that. Because I have to deal with the fallout. And I don't have any more hair to pull out. So fuck you. I'm going to start. All right. You know what? From now on, I'm going to start every time somebody says something and I get comments about it, I'm going to forward those fucking comments to you. To whoever fucking said it. Let you deal with the bullshit.
So I'm going to direct you to this person on that one.
Especially with the foreign language people that don't understand that it's a joke. Even after you clarify, you're like, no, he was making a joke. But no, he said...
Yeah, it's a joke.
For the people that say that words, that say that words don't have power, I was like, say that to somebody whose first language is not your native language. Words have power. When you don't know the meanings. All right. Anyway. So shut up.
Surprised that is not picking up on freaking Discord. Damn.
It's not called shifting the blame. It's called delegation. It's called fuck you. You deal with it.
You started this mess. It's your problem.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Do not mention any Look, all right, if you want to know what we're working on, we will put out an official statement and or video like we always have done. Did you see Overlord anywhere in the official announcements video? No? Then we ain't fucking working on it. Don't let some hip-firing jackass tell you what we are or are not working on.
Are you pointing at me?
Yes!
Well, because you're above on my screen. That's what I was making sure.
Yeah, but the stream is seeing me. I'm pointing at you.
I just said Phineas and Ferb abridged, so.
Which we weren't gonna do. Come on, if anything,
Yeah,
if anything, we were gonna make Team 4 Stars house come. We were gonna make Team 4 Stars dreams come true and do Corey in the House abridged.
Ooh. How did you? I would be very curious to see how you pull that off. Very curious.
It would be an extremely short one shot, and we would just title it a gift for Kaiser Neko. Wait, you abridged my what? Like
I like it.
Abridged.
You abridged the president?
It's a classic.
How?
Tom and Jerry abridged.
It just literally says Corey in the House abridged. Wait, you abridged what?
That's it, and then just cuts off. That's it. That's the whole episode.
A little.
Tom and Jerry abridged.
The special announcement. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh. Tom and Jerry abridged is just Jerry hitting Tom over the foot with a hammer, and he goes for like half a second, and that's it.
Guys, you gotta keep in mind. You gotta keep in mind that The Simpsons is 40 years old. It's been running since the 80s.
How many seasons? How many seasons?
That is a fucking question, dude.
Hold on. I've been watching The Simpsons lately.
How many seasons is
30? I think it's got to be like 32, I bet, or something like that.
No, it's 34.
Hold on.
It's 34.
34 seasons.
Yeah, number of seasons.
34 seasons.
I have 29 more seasons to watch. Crap.
On March 3rd, 2021, the season order alongside the season was ordered alongside a 34th season. Yeah.
Yikes. That's a lot.
Dude, the seasons
I heard the later stuff's good.
The early stuff was just kind of all right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The later stuff. The later stuff's better than the early stuff.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Yep.
Let's see. So how old is The Simpsons, dude? It gets started in like 87 or some shit.
That late? I thought it was like in 1980s something.
Yeah.
Like earlier than
1989.
89. Oh god. It's only as old as my little
That's a little
brother.
later.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's as old as dude.
That's what it says on Disney Plus here.
It's as old as Batman.
Whoa.
When did Simpsons start? The Tim Burton Batman. Yeah, December 17th,
Nope,
89. Yeah.
Barely 90s. Barely outside of that.
Barely outside of that. So it's
Or no, barely 80s.
33 seasons at this time of year and this time of day in this part of the country. Localized entirely at your TV.
It's
Oh, yeah, whenever I'm counting movies and whatnot,
running,
too.
I don't know if that's the longest running television show, but it definitely feels like the longest running U.S. series, you know?
Okay,
Like
I've only
in
seen
general?
32
What
on
is the
Disney
longest
Plus,
running
so
television show in the United States?
I feel like it's like a sitcom or
It
like
is
a,
The Simpsons.
like a
It is
opera.
The Simpsons.
Oh wow, okay. Wow.
I would have guessed
followed
The
by it-
Office, maybe.
No, not The Office. That's short. Also,
Not even
The
close,
Office
yeah.
isn't even
I
even
hear
a
about it a
U.S.
lot, though.
program.
Yeah, it was like a British
Really?
thing first.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Office started off as a British program.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff that's like that happened. Law and Order Special Victims Unit has 24 seasons.
So that's like
That's
two
second place.
or the second.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
10 seasons behind.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum.
That's crazy.
I mean, you guys got to keep in mind that what
33
was it? How
seasons.
many seasons did Big Bang Theory have? Wasn't that like 12 or something?
Oh, I was
Watch that
why did I
show.
talk in that one? Yeah, I mean, my dad watches it.
Hmm.
Anyway, the point was, does anybody want us to attempt to try and do panels at Anime Los Angeles? Also, I talked to him this afternoon. Is Moon not showing up? I can't remember if Moon said he was showing up. I've been stalling this whole time.
I think he said something last week. How he said he wouldn't be here this week.
Okay.
I think he said
right,
something
right.
last time about that because he
Okay.
did
A
lead it.
wedding or something.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. All right.
Yeah.
So, that having been said, ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, welcome to Shim Reads Chapter 3, Part 1 of Slime Volume 8. Yeah. Voice actor reads. This is the Shim edition, so get used to that. If you're not here for all Shim all the time, then you're clearly on the wrong channel.
Oh, Shem,
I
all
have the
time.
front row
Yeah,
seats.
yeah. We get to see it live. I mean, you technically,
I mean, you guys do.
Technically, you guys do, but we don't get it with like a delay. It just happens. We get it from so.
You get a fresh.
That having
graduating from a
oh, we got
so that
subs.
is basically just getting a
Hello.
participation.
Shadow
Thank you for-
Reaper, thank you for 7 months. Appreciate that. All right. You know, I'm here for all of Shem. Oh, God. EC.
Good.
EC is such a Shem simp.
Yeah, there you go.
A Shem
I like
shimp.
that.
A Shem shimp. A shimp.
A sim
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
Shim.
we're
I like that.
Shimps. Shimps unite. Yes.
Thank you.
We are just unconsciously feeding the thirst. Or no, we're consciously feeding the thirst.
Gotta put that as a Twitch
I was
thing
gonna say,
somehow.
yeah.
We're very consciously feeding the thirst. By the way, guys, if you saw the anime recently for Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix,
It's so good.
and you love the animation quality, and you were wondering why the animation quality seems so fucking just... I want to tell you right now, I saw the wall scroll hanging in Shim's room, and it reminded me
Oh, that one.
that
Yeah.
one of the guys, the director of animation for that, or actually the director for this, got his start working as the mechanical animator for Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then moved over to working on, after that show, working on Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, which
And
is
is now
that's like
the
all-
animation
sense.
director for Cyberpunk 2077, and that's why it looks so fucking
Mhm.
delicious.
yeah. Right next to that is actually my Kill la Kill wall scroll too.
Hey,
You just can't see it. So
I need to watch Kill la Kill. I've been
that's good.
making
It's
a point to do it, but I just never watched it for whatever reason.
It's fun.
If fan service could fight, that is
Yeah,
Kill la Kill.
it's funny.
That is
yeah.
very much.
I know it's funny. I don't know why I just never put it on my
Watch
radar
it,
for whatever reason.
It's literally
Watch it from
it's
Mako.
very much ass and titties with swords.
Yes. Watch it for Mako. Mako's the best character.
Nobody
Yeah,
watches.
well,
nobody
yeah.
watches it for personality. Everybody watches it for fan service and fighting.
I mean, Mako has that too.
So
And
basically-
scissors.
Basically, plot.
Mhm.
They watch it
Mhm.
for plot.
Yeah, it's
As any
good.
as any cultured viewer would. All right, so Shem,
Mhm.
chapter 3, take it away.
Okay. Chapter 3, the preparations.
Read it well in the name of Rimuruism.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it, boss. In a hastily prepared meeting room, two suspicious-looking people sat quietly. Or, not exactly. Upon closer inspection, there was also a third, smaller figure, a foot or so tall, with dragonfly-like wings on her back. The two other people in the room were seated facing her, Ramirez and two of her servants, Beretta and Trainee. The small pixie bashed a fist against the small desk in front of her. "This is exactly why I thought none of this was working," she groused, rubbing her hand. "I told you we needed to move out of here." Correct as always, Lady Ramirez," Trainee agreed, watching her affectionately. "Truly a most brilliant idea." "Right, isn't it though?" Ramirez gave Trainee a satisfied nod. Beretta was less than convinced. "One moment, please. Brilliant though the idea may be, where do you intend to move to? And could you explain why?" "Why do I have to do this?" he thought. Trainee, his colleague, was a thoughtful, detail-oriented, hard-working woman. She had a good reputation among the spirits, allowing her to manage Ramirez's labyrinth all by herself. That was something Beretta couldn't do, and there was no doubting her usefulness to Ramirez. But there was an issue. Trainee, ever the loyal servant to Ramirez, spoiled her far too much. She agreed with everything Ramirez said, never doubting it for a moment. Someone needed to stop this before it led to trouble. The ex-demon Beretta couldn't help but laugh at himself a little. Oh dear. I am not here serving Lady Ramirez because I want to serve that role. To someone like him, who did enjoy Ramirez's company very much, getting bossed around all the time wasn't a concern. What did concern him, albeit only slightly, was how his lone co-worker here was an unabashed yes man. Unfortunately, it was an ironclad rule of life that the hardest working people tended to be the ones who lost out in the end. If you blow the whistle and warn about the dangers ahead, it's usually your job to clean up the mess that results. Something Beretta was about to learn the hard way. Great question, Beretta. Listen, aren't you bored being in here at all? There's nothing to do for fun in this place. The only diversion we have here is building golems, and that's about it. Barely anyone even comes to visit us. But over there, they've got all kinds of stuff. So I figure, I'll just invite myself over. Ramirez put forth what she must have thought was a convincing case. It just made Beretta sigh inside. He wasn't dead set against himself, but he remembered what the demon Lord Reamer was like and suspected getting his permissions would be a problem. Also, thank you for the bits. That was nice. If she tried moving there now, he could easily envision her getting thrown out on her ear. Trainee must have known that, but all she had to offer was her unequivocal agreement. "But, Lady Ramirez, didn't Sir Rimuru already turn you down once?" Beretta had to say it. She had already tried it. Without better excuse, all she'd do was incur Rimuru's wrath. Maybe Ramirez was oblivious to this fact, but to Beretta, that was the biggest problem of all. "Come now, Beretta," his unreliable coworker said. "You're overthinking this. Sir Rimuru is such a nice young man. He'd never be cruel enough to deny the dreams of someone as cute and lovable as her." Trainee was being far too optimistic. If Ramirez wasn't evolved, Trainee was a capable woman of action, but there was no counting on her now. So since the other two people in the room weren't using their brains, he tried to find a good way to navigate this. After all, he wouldn't mind living alongside Rimuru either. I suppose that's why I find even a situation as ridiculous as this exciting. And it was a lucky thing he had a mask on, because under it was a smile almost childish in its glee. And then there's a dot. Should I keep going?
Did I sound confused at my earlier statement of calling this the Shem Show?
No. I was just double checking because I saw a dot and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, you got it.
Get the mouth flapping.
I'm going. It's fine.
Get another at least
He's
22
talking.
minutes.
Okay. After I saw Gobemon go. After I saw Gobemon go. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's his name, right?
Gobemon!
That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like to me. Gobemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Gobemon. DNA Digivolve 2. Metal Gobemon.
You teach me and I'll teach
The
you.
wings of luck.
Gobemon.
Yeah.
It's it's Gabemon. But
Oh,
yeah.
Gabemon. Okay,
Yeah.
not Gobemon.
Oh,
Okay.
boo.
After I saw
Can we call it Gobemon?
Gabemon go, I headed back to Tempest. I mean, it was,
That's what I mean. You can call him Gobemon because Gobta, Gobzo. You know, I understand.
that's what I thought.
I mean,
Yeah.
go for it. It is what it. Say
Gobemon.
what you need to say.
It works. I'd been using Dominate Space to travel as of late, which allowed me to instantly transport myself to anywhere I'd visited before. It consumed a non-trivial amount of magicals, but it was fairly trivial for me considering the energy I had to work with. I was free to use it as much as I wanted now, which made travel pretty simple. Although I still tried to regulate my use, since I'd look so lame if I abused it and went into sleep mode as a result. The moment I was back, Ranga sent me a thought communication. Master, Gobku and the craftsmen have gathered at the western gate. However, he didn't finish the sentence. What happened? Concerned, I headed for the gate, using Dominate Space despite promising myself to lay off a moment ago. Activating Universal Detect to gain a broader vantage point than what my eyes could give me, I spotted Ranga at the site. And if my destination was within sight, Dominate Space made it easy to rush over. Just a matter of changing my coordinates, really. Really convenient, but kind of hard to use in battle since it takes a little while or a little time to set off. I'm always scared of leaving myself open like that. Besides, I'm trying to conserve it, remember? This, on the other hand, was an emergency, so I reappeared right next to Ranga. We were outside the west gate and immediately spotted Gobku arguing with someone. Universal Detect already told me who it was. No, you see, like I just said, we're officially taking over this place. Oh no. I took cover listening on the conversation. I know what you said, ma'am, but we can't really accept that. Do you understand? I'm going to ask Sir Rimuru now, so if you could just wait here and keep quiet a while. No. We've already abandoned our previous labyrinth to come here. Are you going to kick out a poor homeless woman with no place to go? No, ma'am. This area is officially the territory of the demon Lord Rimuru, you see, so you need to obtain his permission first. Pfft, can't sob story my way in, eh? In that case, I'll have to resort to force. If you keep nitpicking every little thing, you know Beretta here isn't going to take that line down. Ah! I couldn't stand any more of it. So I sneaked up to the problem child in front of me and captured it in my hands. I was a child. Taking a look at her, I confirmed it was Ramirez. What are you doing? Hey there, Rimuru. How's it going? She was avoiding eye contact, clearly understanding she was in big trouble. Okay, that's who she was. Whatever she was up to, the small hut behind us clearly had to do with it. Ramirez was claiming the structure as her territory. She had to be hiding something inside, but how did she even bring it over here? Lady Ramirez, I brought over some new wood. The riddle was solved by Trainee coming over with an armload of wooden beams. Trainee, what are you up to? Sir Rimuru, I trust all is, well... She froze the moment she saw me. Did it not occur to her that building a hut right in front of the town gate might get spotted pretty fast? Can I ask what's going on, Trainee? Well, it's not what it looks like. Lady Ramirez did nothing wrong. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
It's Moon.
The
moon has finally arrived.
How was the wedding?
What now?
Didn't you say you had like a wedding to go to or something?
Not
I lost.
this Sunday.
Oh, sorry. That was another week. I remember you were
Yeah, I
talking
thought it was
about
I thought it was
a
a
here for that.
wedding.
So
No,
yeah, but
no,
welcome back.
that wedding was a while ago.
Yeah, okay, never mind then. Sorry.
Anyways,
But yeah, I still hope you had fun though.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We're a couple pages into chapter 3, so
Okay, I'll get the exact spot in just a minute. I've still got.
Yeah, Richie's
set up.
off getting some food or something. So
yeah, so I too will be back in a bit. So I'm just gonna mute myself for the moment.
Okay, good to have you here. Okay, so the trainee I knew always had this air of authority. Serving Ramirez had completely torn that apart. Like master, like servant, I guess. The only person here who could guide me through matters was likely Beretta, who was currently kneeling before me. Beretta, explain. It always has to be me, doesn't it? Resigned to his fate, he relented. It all began, he said, with something Ramirez told him. Beretta, you traitor! Ramirez shouted, freed from the prison of my hands, but I ignored her. According to Beretta, Ramirez absolutely insisted on moving to my town, with Trainee in full agreement. I glanced at Trainee. She was staring into space and looking supremely awkward. Apparently, she spoiled Ramirez at all times, which I could see from the last time we met, so I believed it. Neither she nor Beretta would dare defy this lady, so they were all but forced into this would-be invasion of my land. Would-be invasion of my land. And also, as Lady Ramirez stated, we came here after sealing off the entryway to the labyrinth we called home before. Right, exactly, so come on! If you kick us out, we'll be homeless! Rimuru! She tried to sound as forlorn as possible, despite this being entirely her own doing. Oh, poor Lady Ramirez, I heard Trainee lament. Please don't keep encouraging her. Either way, though, now I knew the situation. This wasn't Gobq's fault at all. It was all on Ramirez and her servants. Sorry you went through all that, Gobq. No, we were fine, but the gate guards had the worst of it. He eyed a nearby hobgoblin by the gate, sounding sleepily, or sleeping soundly. Sorry, I got a little excited. That wasn't Lady Ramirez's fault. That guard was saying terrible things to her, so I used magic to put him to sleep for a little while. And then there's the picture. So what?
He's
what
dead.
Had gotten, yeah, he's just out. What had gotten into Trainee's mind anyway? She really did cast a spell, I presume, for Ramirez's sake. No wonder Beretta looked so guilty at the moment. I would listen to Ramirez and Trainee's excuses later. I wanted to learn more from Beretta, but he didn't have much else to offer. They showed up here, Trainee brought in wood, and Beretta fashioned it into a log hut before me. Apparently they had been interrupted just as he began work on a terrace in the front of the door. This hut was meant to be the entrance to a new labyrinth. It certainly wasn't the first time Ramirez had demonstrated a desire to move here. This hut, which served as an entrance to her full residence, was all the real estate she really needed. Okay, so you tried building it here, and the gate guard stopped you. He was getting in your way, so you commanded Trainee to put him to sleep, and then Gobq and these other craftsmen spotted you. Do I have this right? No, that's not exactly the case, I don't think. Maybe? Or maybe? Okay, so I do. Ramirez. Okay, so I do. Ramirez. Ramirez must not know the meaning of the word no. She knew this was my territory, as recognized by the other demon lords, and that what she did was tantamount to staging an invasion. If war broke out over this, she'd have nothing to whine about. But I paused a moment to think it over. Having this hut presented to me gave me an idea. Perhaps I should encourage this. Maybe give her permission to make a labyrinth here, even. My conversation with Molly Mile flashed before my eyes. We needed attractions that keep visitors coming again and again. These could be theaters, arenas, health spas, you name it. But I was still fishing around for other ideas. Do the same thing enough times and you're bound to get bored. We wouldn't hold daily arena battles. I figured the tournaments would be more seasonal, maybe for a year. We could hold beginner level matches daily, like with horse racing, but I didn't see that attracting the connoisseurs among the nobility. We'd mainly be appealing to mass audiences, or maybe the adventurers stopping by. If this town turned into the trade mecca I was planning, waves of merchants would be visiting, with adventurers serving as bodyguards. I wanted Tempest to turn into a base of operations for people like that. Adventurers could make money in assorted ways, one being monster hunting. Perhaps we could Perhaps we could build a labyrinth for them and release some monsters inside. Would that attract a decent amount of daily traffic? A labyrinth is a dungeon after all. If we invited people to help clear it out, that might attract venturers with a completist bent. This could work. I looked at Ramirez, still smiling awkwardly up at me. I wasn't too sure. Okay, I was completely sure I couldn't trust her. But maybe we could make something of this. It was time to talk things over. First, I asked Gobq's craftsman to dismantle the hut for me. Since we already had the materials and everything, I decided to have it relocated for use as a break room for the gate guards. Next, it was time for a strategic conference. We filed into the usual meeting hall, Gobq in tow. What is going to be the, happening to us? Ramirez's anxiety was making her less and less coherent. Her eyes were fixed on me now, gauging my temper. You don't have to be so nervous. If you're trying to be polite, you're failing miserably. I didn't intend to do anything to her. No. If she was willing to accept my offer, I was willing to overlook her excessively bold overtures, but before that, we had to go over a few things. Gobq, I was thinking we could build an emergency shelter space under the arena. Is that possible? I'm not sure it'd be safe to have one directly under the arena stage. No matter how we try to work out the structural calculations, any empty space under the floor would cause a cave-in at the first shockwave. But if we move this space a little, I think we can avoid that problem. All right, so I'd like to also have a door built down there. A door, sir? Right, make it thick and heavy. And maybe put a bunch of carved stone tablets around the frame and stuff. It needs to look foreboding. But would there be another shelter beyond the door? Nah, no need for that. We just need the door. Or we just need the door is all. Right, Ramirez? Rimuru? Are you saying that... Gubq was questioning my sanity, while Ramirez buzzed happily in the air next to him. My proposal was simple. Basically, I wanted to have Ramirez build a dungeon and let her manage it. If she was going to build an entrance in a simple wood hut, better to give her something that looked more the part instead, right? And given how all the good dungeons extend deep underground, having it beneath a battle arena just seemed right to me. We could use the arena to train rookies during the off days, and I planned to have a potion shop on the premises. If we ran a dungeon on site as well, I put a tavern for adventurers looking for a quick pint on the way back from work. Or, I bet a tavern for adventurers looking for a quick pint on the way back from work would be a big hit. We'd make money off of them, and Ramirez would have a home, a job, and a little spending money from me. It'd require mutual cooperation from both of us, but I thought it was a pretty neat idea. Once I finished explaining all this, Ramirez burst into a flurry of shouting, "What? So do you mean that maybe not only I could build a labyrinth and live here, but you'll even give me a full-fledged job?" I guess so, if you're willing to accept that. Huh? Okay. So you're saying that I no longer have to be the jobless shut-in people accuse me of being? The proposal must have been a big shock. She opened her eyes wide, babbling on like she had been struck by lightning. "I'm so glad, Lady Ramirez," Trini whispers, eyes welling up. Beretta, oddly enough, seemed to be smiling at me. I wonder if that fatigue I felt before was just an act. Did he want this? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, if he's happy, no worries. After calming down a bit, Ramirez swallowed nervously. And you'll give me an allowance as well?" she carefully asked. "Do you really mean that?" She must have been afraid I'd take it back. I'd never do that. I'm not that much of a sadist. Although I couldn't give her an exact figure on her allowance yet, since that depended on sales proceeds. Better put her mind at ease for now. I really mean it. But I don't know how much profit we'll make until we get things going. How about we say you get 20% of the profits after I deduct advertising expenses, rent, and other needed expenses? How much do you think that would add up to? Well, if we can attract, say, 1,000 adventurers a day, that could net you as much as 2 gold coins, maybe? Yeah, that much? That's just an estimate. Keep in mind, there's no guarantee it'll work out that way. None of what I say means anything until we see some real paying customers. But if you're planning to live here anyway, it's not a bad deal for you, is it? Ramirez bobbed her head as she was going to squat on my property, Ramirez bobbed her head. If she was going to squat on my property either way, she'd be maintaining her labyrinth no matter what I told her to do. It'd be smarter for her to listen to my offer, for sure. It'd grant her permission to stay and be a way to make money. Really, she only had one choice. Thus she latched onto my head and did a little dance of joy. I took that as a yes, and I was sure Beretta and Trainee wouldn't complain. In fact, they were smiling at Ramirez, who was currently busy tripping off to her own little world. "I'm gonna be filthy rich now. No more ungrateful bums calling me deadbeat and a destitute demon lord." Well, no harm in that. It'd certainly do nothing to damage the faith her 2 servants had in her. Her sheer enthusiasm for the offer made me wonder just how often she had been picked on in the past. She was more excited than I was about it, so I doubt I had to worry about compliance. What's with her obsession over money, though? I didn't think a lust for riches was a common trait for a demon lord, myself excluded. Was her lack of a decent job the main issue? Her labyrinth wasn't exactly teeming with visitors. She must have been lonely, with way too much free time on her hands. It'd be great if we could attract crowds of adventurers to this dungeon, for my sake as well as hers. We better work out a plan of action fast. Calling Ramirez back from her mental head trip, I decided to have her help rework our arena plans with Gopq. The way I saw it, we should expand the open area outside the western gate where the highway ended, and build the arena there. There was ample pasture space for travelers' horses, as well as a vast tract of empty land to work with. Sometime in the future, I'd like to lay rails on top of the highway and run trains up and down it. Ever since I decided to target noble customers for this, I had been considering what to do about our transportation issues. If I could guarantee safe passage for them, I thought it'd be much easier to attract richer tourists, but that wasn't the only goal. A rail system would make it possible to transport vast amounts of goods in one go, improving convenience and greatly contributing to the town development. That was what I had in mind for the town's future expansion, so I wanted a spot for the arena that wouldn't get in the way later on. I could establish a rail station near the spot, hopefully within an hour's walk of the gates. Any farther would be asking a lot from our tourists. Having the arena within walking distance of the town also made it possible to offer more hotel options in a smaller area. Unlike my old world, people here did a lot of their traveling by foot. If a journey was up to around 6 miles round trip, most folks wouldn't hesitate to hoof it. So a little distance wasn't a daunting obstacle. Those were my thoughts behind my proposal for a location, but Ramirez had other ideas. Why though? Didn't you have empty space within town limits? Yes, but it's been occupied by Beastmen refugees right now. We have streets of temporary housing laid out for them. I can't build an arena over that. No, added Gobq. We can't throw the Beastmen out of town. I think development will have to wait until after Sir Geld completes work on the new Eurasianian capital. Okay, well, how about we just move them into my labyrinth? I could transplant the entire layout of that area inside it, so it wouldn't be too much of a burden on them. That sounded, to be frank, absolutely bonkers. Gubq and I exchanged glances, unsure we were hearing correctly. You mean we'd move the inhabitants in there as well? I can't move living things around without permission, no. They'd need to willingly go in there for me. But anything inanimate or unconscious, I can whisk it all right over, no prob. Are you serious? So you can move all the Beastmen's houses and belongings inside your labyrinth anytime you want? Yep, you got it. She sounded proud of it, as she should. That's the kind of skill anyone deserved to brag about.
Do you understand how broken this ability is now?
Yeah, just bink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good.
And even the willingness is kind of weird, because, like, I moved your house into this labyrinth. I'm not moving it back out. Guess I'm moving into the labyrinth. Then, okay, now I could just move you now. There.
I mean, I want that power. It'd be just like, all right.
Yeah, just like Goku's instant transportation. Just
How about
the
this?
entire labyrinth.
How about this? All right.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say hypothetically.
That'd be more Rimur's. Like,
let's say hypothetically that you build a labyrinth, right? That you build like a dungeon-esque labyrinth. And let's say hypothetically that you do this whole rest stop area at the end of like certain floors or whatever. And then you realize it's actually better and easier and more profitable to do it at the end, have like these little rest areas at the end of every floor. Now, every 5 floors has the best stuff. But every floor has kind of like, I would say slightly better than like a capsule hotel-esque kind of area, a rest stop, where you can rest. And it also leads to a general area where you can get your weapons looked after and your armor repaired and things like that. So all of this set inside the labyrinth, and you're still making Tempest money.
Yeah,
that could all hypothetically be done within this.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That sounds awesome.
Crazy and broken. Like you could set up your own economy inside of like whatever labyrinth that she builds.
Which is awesome to think about. I was like, holy shit.
How would you get the manpower for that?
You could build a theme park.
I guess they already have it, yeah.
Sorry, I haven't eaten since breakfast this morning, so I kind of needed to run and grab food.
Ooh. That's okay.
Yeah.
Also, hi, Moon.
Or something.
Hi.
We thought you were at a wedding, but he was not. We were mistaken.
Yeah, no, the wedding happened a while ago.
I don't know why I got the idea of a wedding in my head.
Well,
I did have to miss one Sunday because of a wedding.
I just remembered you weren't here.
Yes.
Yeah. So, that was my mistake.
One Sunday he was in his Sunday best for a different reason. Yes.
Pressing. Oh yeah, that's where I am. Okay. Pressing her for more detail, I learned that this was Mazecraft. One of Ramirez's intrinsic skills. Sorry, Mazecraft. Good. As the name suggested, it basically made Ramirez the supreme god of any labyrinth she created. It worked over astonishing distances, too, even affecting people and things near the maze entrance.
As opposed
she could even take the... Yeah, that's why I thought this Mazecraft. Oh, okay. She could even take the weapons and armor off people close by. That's pretty cool. It was a crazy power to think of, but it did have its limits. If the target's equipment had its own consciousness, a sword infused with its user's magic, for example, Ramirez couldn't affect it. You weren't exactly stumbling over sentient objects like that every day, though, so if you picked a fight with Ramirez, you better be prepared to get stripped naked first thing. Maybe she really did deserve it.
Yeah, Monica.
Yeah, just Wow, I mean, honestly, I thought you had like zero ability to defend yourself in battle. Sheesh, way to be super mean. You're talking to the woman they call the strongest demon lord in the world. Come on, Ramirez, calm down. Tell me what else you can do with it. Upon further prodding, she revealed some more details behind her abilities. Essentially, I had 5 questions for her. 1. How many floors down can you build your underground labyrinths? 2. How many days do you need to build them? 3. What kind of monsters are inside? 4. Can you change your internal structure at will, or change their internal structure at will? And 5. What happens if someone dies in there? That is a very good question.
Yeah, the obvious question. The very obvious one.
Mm-hmm. For a change, Ramirez gave me sincere answers to all of them. For question 1, there was no strict floor limit, but realistically speaking, she can max them out around 100. That's a lot. As for question 2, one floor takes approximately 1 hour to complete. This figure remains steady for subsequent floors, so a 100-floor labyrinth took around 100 hours to complete. Any floors beyond that consumed exponentially greater sums of magical energy, hence the answer to question number 1. For question 3, you wouldn't find monsters, let alone insects or other creatures, just arbitrarily inhabiting a labyrinth. Her previous labyrinth had monsters, quote unquote, in the form of spirits. Spirits who remained as part of the floor structure, partitioned off from the physical world, but able to come and go as they pleased. However, it was possible to seed a labyrinth of monsters for adventurers to test their skill against. Fill a maze of magicules, and monsters would spring to life from them. Adjusting the labyrinth's magical density made it easy to predict the strength of the monsters who resulted, as well as restrict monsters to a certain floor or floors. That made it possible to fine-tune a labyrinth's difficulty level with some precision. I had an idea of how this magical infusion process worked, so I'd give that some thought once I had the right container for it. Regarding question 4, the sheer power of Ramirez's mazecraft skill meant that she could change the entire structure of a floor in about an hour. Although floors could not be edited for 24 hours after the last revamping. Just patch the floor. There were conditions, of course. She couldn't make something. What's up? Oh.
I just did some of the math for like if she's working basically 8 hours a day, like a full day, it's taken her about 3 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
I don't think it would. I think
not
it'd be more
including
than
weekends.
that. I think it'd be a bit more than that. Also, I think Moon was snickering at what I typed.
Oh.
A bit.
Yeah. I typed. I just had crystals. My farts are gonna smell delicious tonight. Because every time I eat like crystals or White Castle, every time I fart, it smells like the burger I just ate.
Nice.
So.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were. Okay.
That's just taking sniffing your own farts to a whole new level there, Rich.
I don't sniff my... Dude, I can't help it. When you fart, it just kind of happens.
It's just...
I don't
You
bend
walk
over.
at the center of the cloud. You will
I
You're
don't,
not wrong.
I don't bend over and try to get my nose as close to the hole as possible.
Gotta get the smell of the source.
We got Mazecraft and Maze Waft.
So that
I don't
tastes so
Maze
good. I
Waft.
need to smell it too.
Maze waft. Oh my god.
Maze Waft.
That's
Maze raft.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing in the Minecraft server. Is that the next thing we're gonna build? Are we gonna build Ramirez's labyrinth?
That would be kind of cool.
That would
Or if there was a mod
take
that could do that for you.
while.
Like an auto dungeon.
Here's
So-
the thing. Here's the thing.
That'd be tricky.
That would
though.
be one hell of a mod because we're only getting to the beginning of what she can do. Once we
Yeah.
get to like volume 11, volume 12, when you actually understand what all's going in and they've got a solid idea of like they don't keep changing the labyrinth. They've at least got it consistent. That's when
They're basically, from what it sounds like, they're trying to construct like
By the way,
a proto-Nazareth.
her old labyrinth isn't gone. She just sealed it.
Yeah. It's
No
just-
one can
it's
go in
still
or
there,
out.
right?
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah,
It's
so-
just yeah.
Wait, so if you're in there, you're fucked.
Nobody
Wow.
really left it anyway.
Yeah.
That's
It's
true.
just full of spirits and fairies.
It's-
You have that one
Spirits
guy
of
who's still in there like, hello?
No. Nobody would have burst in.
Poor Gary.
Well, that'd be a fun joke
Yeah.
to have.
Mm-hmm.
Just like have an adventurer stuck in there is like,
Except
I
that
want
one
this
guy.
door
What's his
open.
name? Gary.
Guys?
Hello? Is it me you're
That's gotta
looking
be in the
for?
Brit series at
This
some
is
point.
this is the only exit to
But
the
what about
bathroom.
that one
Come
guy,
on,
Gary?
guys.
Wait, who?
This isn't funny anymore.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can I come out yet?
Oh, thanks for the sub.
Blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much.
Whoa.
Yeah. EC Voice, thank you for gifting blah, 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 a sub.
Mm-hmm. Always appreciated.
I know that's not how you say his name, but it's how I say it. Damn it.
It's how we're saying it, and
Sounds
we're
like a
sticking
fire
to
alarm.
it. That's
It's
what
very-
it's changed to now.
It's very important that you pronounce the like it's a lot of back of the
Yeah.
back of the mouth in the throat kind of bubbly bubbly spit. No, it's very salivic.
Saliva based.
Slavic?
Yeah.
No, not Slavic. Just
No.
Sounded like a bear guzzling jizz.
it's
I can't
gurgling.
gargle. You have to like gargle something. I gotta get another thing of water.
How do you think
You're
they
gonna
do the
gargle,
Chewbacca
baby.
noises? How do you think they do the Chewbacca noises? It's basically this, but you also gargle.
Oh.
They actually made a book that said to speak Wookiee, the best way to make the Wookiee sound is to just open your mouth as wide as possible and try to pronounce the words that you see on the paper without closing your mouth at all.
All right. Shem has to read the next paragraph in Wookiee.
No,
That's not
No.
I don't even know
value
what
my
fucking
throat.
paragraph you're on, sir.
Fair enough.
Okay, we are on. There were conditions, of course.
There were conditions, of course.
Everything has conditions.
Okay.
Yep.
Thus,
There's always a
Trigger
catch.
Eyes welling up at Beretta. Oddly enough, no.
No,
Calling
we
Ramirez
were,
back from her mental head trip. I decided to have her help rework our arena plans. So we're past that, right? Okay. Those are my
hold on a
thoughts.
We're
Nope,
past
yep, you got it.
him suggesting the questions.
How many floors can you build
the-
underground labyrinths?
Yeah, we're past
Yeah,
that.
like
A little
we're
bit
past that. We're after the paragraph that says regarding question 4. The sheer
Regarding
power of
question
Ramirez's
four-
craft
Excellent.
skill.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Ramirez. Really? You mean it? I'm really that great, aren't I? Okay, let's see.
Mhm.
Sometimes.
So there were conditions, of course. Mhm.
There were conditions, of course. Ah,
Yeah.
I see it. Okay, so it's
Yeah,
at the
that's
top
where
of
we are.
page 162 for me. Okay, I just needed to know. All right, continue
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
What has been
There were
redeemed so far?
Oh, like voice wise,
Oh,
nothing.
Nothing.
I didn't see any voice wise or. any-
Let me. I have not unpaused exercises. That is on me.
Oh, okay.
My
Uh-oh.
I didn't see. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Let the begin.
Let the gas flow.
Blarb.
Blur.
There were conditions, of course. She couldn't make something, plants or organic matter, for example, out of nothing. So structural changes would chiefly result in stayed-looking mazes of blank walls. However, if you simply wanted to redecorate a floor with some materials at hand instead of changing its structure, that wasn't too terribly difficult.
EC redeemed
Clinton.
Clinton.
Good. It was also simple enough, by the way, to rearrange
It was
the labyrinth's
also
floor.
simple enough.
It was also simple.
simple
This
enough.
too
all
was
right.
set in stone for 24 hours afterward, but that made it no less a useful tool.
I knew you'd be back.
You know who it is.
I always come back.
I did not
It's like,
have
wow,
sexual
you are really
relations
good.
with that dungeon.
Well,
Anyway.
the reason Clinton is
Then how
available.
to explain the hut?
The reason Clinton is available as a voice option is because of me, because I
Yeah.
can do that voice. Sorry.
It's really, it's all good. The only
There you
the only president or like political figure I probably do is Obama.
When
That's
I
it.
put this down, when I put all
Yeah.
these political figures down, it was because I could do those voices. I was not expecting others to be made to do those voices.
Emo Shem. That's just my
Like
default.
Trump would be an easy one, and then what is George
Obama's
Bush
okay.
then? What's your George Bush?
George Bush? I didn't put a
Yeah.
Katrina, we're gonna find her. We
Yeah,
have reason to believe she's connected
Oh,
to Al Qaeda.
Texan.
Katrina.
Gotcha.
Qaeda, you know.
Al
Yeah.
Qaeda.
Bush is just a little more country, just a bit.
Yeah, a little more.
Well,
country.
actually, you're not doing Bush. You're doing,
Texan president.
No, you're
No,
not.
not-
He's not doing. He's not
Huh?
doing Bush. He's doing Fluffy doing Bush.
Fluffy
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, true. That's
Yeah.
how I came up with it. So
Yeah.
that's the best way
That was
I
good.
can do it.
Good tone.
Katrina, Kata, both start with a K.
Kata.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, reason to
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
They're in
Jesus
cahoots.
Christ.
Yeah.
It's very
All right.
hard not to think it's
Shim?
Trump, though.
Shim, it's
Anyway.
your
Yes.
turn. Keep going.
Yep.
We'll burn that
Yep.
bridge later.
And last but not least, question 5. Astonishingly, this depended entirely on Ramirez. If she was keeping tabs on things, committing crime.
Can't believe I
If
voted
she was
for that
keeping
asshole.
tabs on things, she could snap her fingers and resurrect the dead inside her labyrinth. I was just wondering how she handled the corpses of monsters and hapless adventurers, but this sounded like nothing short of voodoo to me. Apparently, she wasn't sure what happened to the monsters born inside the labyrinth, since she had no oh god, it's like country Kermit. Since she had no example to work with yet.
I mean, Kermit does play the banjo, so.
That's true. But she
Yeah,
had
it's back to where he
already
came.
I mean, what do you think? Lily pads just grow in the city?
That was great. I like that. He would say that.
We work our asses off to make those work, okay?
I'm on the corner of Flatbush Avenue and Lily Pad Drive.
Well, my banjo. But oh wait. Jesus. But she had already resurrected quite a few adventurers in the past.
Because, you know, I live
This is
right
why
next
she
to Trump
emphasized.
Tower. Ah!
Yeah!
Yeah!
I can't do him like
Next to Trump
freaking
Tower,
out.
you
Take
probably
on
lost yourself, like,
jobs!
ah!
Yeah!
Good.
Just every time you need to get that voice, just shake a lot.
Yep. Yeah! Did all my fat go everywhere? It must have been nice. It was like,
Your hair.
the fresh air feels good. Sorry.
Yeah, it feels.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway.
this is why she
Anyways.
emphasized not being able to move organic creatures inside without permission earlier. This permission was nothing too formal. What mattered was that the subject in question knew he or she was going into the labyrinth. Without that understanding, any visitors would be refused entry. In other words, when I went into Ramirez's labyrinth a while back, that was because I actively tried to do so. If I was carrying a sleeping companion on my back as I ventured inside, it would have been blown back at the entrance. One exception to this was infants. Children young enough to not have their own free will yet were essentially treated as things by this rule. Okay. You could drag someone kicking and screaming into the labyrinth, but only at a great burden to Ramirez. So it was impossible if she resisted you at all. You wouldn't want to try it, is how she put it to me. Oh.
So a kicking and screaming baby, nah, it's fine, but...
Mm-hmm. It's funny. Yeah. So there you have it.
Babies
Essentially,
are people.
I mean, children are people too. Essentially, anyone who goes into a labyrinth was under the tyrannical rule of Ramirez. Something they agreed to the moment they stepped through the entrance. If they accepted the rules, Ramirez would keep careful tabs on their status. And you know how much we like playing pranks, don't you? She said, puffing out her chest. Oh, so she's like this. I just like surprising people and seeing their reactions. If they died, that kind of weigh on my conscience. So I do what I can to keep them alive and set them back on their way. Sometimes there'd be an unlucky subject who really did die on Ramirez, but it sounded like those deaths occurred outside of her labyrinth. At the very least, she didn't want to kill me while I was in there, or when I was in there. That golem who looked ready to stomp me to oblivion was only there because she knew she could fix me up, good as new, if called to. That made sense to me, although it seemed to lower the stakes of what I went through quite a bit. So, a band of adventurers... Oh, sorry, what?
I was gonna say, like, I just want to see, like, all the mishaps of, like, a prank just going so horribly wrong. And Ramirez is like, ha ha, I got you. Oh. Revives her like, my bad, bro. Like, I fucking died. You think that's funny? It's just like, how many times has that happened?
Hey, it's her dungeon, her rules, so... that's a big whoops on your end. So.
It's like, I didn't have to revive you. Yeah, you didn't have to prank me either, did you? Or pale me or whatever the fuck. I died, yeah.
I don't think they get to say that because they're dead. Just be like, oh, you
wouldn't be bad mathing right now if you were dead. So yeah.
It'd be what
How about
that? Yeah. Okay.
Honorary.
See you later, Ari. I was going to talk to you or see you for a bit. Okay. Yep. Oh, so that'll be up next, but Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Once they're booted out of the labyrinth, I can resurrect them like nothing happened. So I guess that's your answer. It's a bit tougher if we're talking a whole party at once, though, so we might need to send them in with some of my revival equipment. Equip a specified item from her magecraft labyrinth, and dying would just transport you back outside intact. That solved my safety concerns, which was really the biggest problem. I don't know if that was a good Sean Connery. It was try.
Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery.
Shit's gonna kill me.
Yeah. That solved my safety
No, I'm going mobster now. Dang it.
which really wasn't the biggest problem.
Mobster Connery. We want I
Yeah.
want mobster Connery.
Okay. That sounds like a food. Anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna marry. It's just regular.
You know, that works.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. That's wonderful, Ramirez. Really? You mean it? I'm really that great, aren't I? You sure are. Our ambitions are as good as accomplished. They are? Yeah, they are. I was just about thinking about that myself. We looked at each other and nodded. I'll be counting on you, Ramirez, and I'll hold up my end of the bargain. It'll be nothing but smooth sailing ahead. Smooth sailing, huh? Hopefully the boat isn't made out of mud. We couldn't shake on the deal given our size difference, but I think our minds were linked up well enough anyway. Let's see. Accepting Ramirez's offer, we decided to build the battle arena in the empty space on the southeast side of town, a dungeon spread out beneath it. Our theater, meanwhile, would be put up on the northwest side, near where all our high-end spa facilities were. We had actually put up a gym, a museum, and so forth among all the luxury lodging over there. So all we really had to do was refurbish a previously built structure for the purpose. So the dungeon and theater were in place, but we still had no arena. Guild wasn't around, but I'm sure I could rely on Gobq and his crew. With them, we'd doubtlessly have something in place by the Founders Festival. I am not sure we can do this, Sir Rimuru. Oh, no? Yeah, guess not. I mean, any normal project like this would require several years of work. Asking for a finished arena in a month or two was kind of insane, so even with monster-level muscle on our side, I wasn't so sure we could do it either. Yeah, alright, let me lend a hand then. I'll help move the dirt around and process the metal infrastructure. I may not look it, but I did used to work for a general contractor, used to work for a general contractor. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that much on-the-field construction experience, but with what I learned imitating the veterans, I wasn't a total amateur. Besides, I had Raphael. Me too, let me help. In that case, allow me to help too. As you wish, Lady Ramirez. I suppose that meant I had the support of Ramirez and Beretta and Trainee too. Oh, that's what they were. Let's get right to work. I opened up my blueprints among the tents that line the arena, or the area. Alright. I don't see a problem with this. Great. Better explain things to your beastmen then. A lot of our nation's beastmen were out working on remote projects, so I decided to give Alvis and Sophia the full explanation for now. We would meet together this evening. If that is what you seek, Sir Rimuru, it shall be done. It sure will. We've got no right to complain. Once I explained the whole plan to them, they accepted with surprising speed. They also stated that I wouldn't need to explain it again to the other beastmen. Really? Sure, Sir Rimuru, Sophia said. You've given us all the food to eat and a place to stay. We'd all be glad to help out with building this arena or whatever. Besides, Alvis added, I hear that Sir Carrion will be involved in the festival you're holding. We all would be delighted to help you out. I am a tad under the weather, so I will leave the rest to you, Sophia. You got it! So Sophia would lead the beastmen on this job, and once that was decided, things proceeded at blazing speed. One order from Sophia was all it took to get the beastmen out of their tents. As they all lined up information, Ramirez nimbly transported all the tents into her labyrinth. We now had a large patch of empty land to work with. Still a little wowed by this feat, I used Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony, to consume parts of the lot I didn't need and to pare it down to a square, flat expanse. The steel framing came up soon after, and once it did, Gobq and his crew stacked up pre-processed stones to fill in the walls. Within the day, we had walls so hardy that not a single hole could be found in any of them. This gave us a sturdy-looking underground space with a large door in front of it. For someone from my modern era, the whole thing was wrapped up with unbelievable speed. Wow, Ramirez gushed. My new castle! Oh, right. If you touch this door, it'll take you to the labyrinth floor where the tents are. We all took a trip inside. There, we saw the beastmen's living space, exactly as it looked up on the surface. Alvis and Sophia couldn't hide their astonishment, especially since the air was kept refreshingly cool down here. Do we even need these tents now? I wonder. I don't know. Yeah, I assume it doesn't rain in here, so I bet we could just sleep on the ground. They didn't seem at all dissatisfied with this. I could see them and the other beastmen experiment with going back and forth between the real and labyrinth dimensions. All it took was a moment's thought for them. So, does it get dark in here at night? Sure does. Or, sure does, replied Ramirez. We're linked to the outside from here, so I can even make it rain here if you like. Man, she could just do just about anything, huh? But it wasn't like they were farming crops in here, so I just asked her to set up a normal day and night cycle for me. This whole space seemed a lot more useful than I guessed at first. I bet I could adapt it to other needs too. We'd have to brainstorm some ideas. Apparently reassured, the beastmen went off to help with the outside work.
That's an
They'd pitch in
interesting
with the
question.
arena.
Could you theoretically farm crops in there?
You probably
Would
could
you
if you
just
could control
live in the
day and night.
labyrinth and never come out?
I
Well,
mean, is it
hmm.
plausible?
I mean, are you mimicking the sun?
Here's the thing.
There's day and night, and then...
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, that you probably
Yeah.
could farm crops in there, specifically because I know that at one point in time with Millam's relationship with the tree ants and trainee and all of them, that they use the tree ants to grow a forest inside of her labyrinth, and if you can grow a forest, presumably you could grow crops.
Yeah, because I mean, you know.
Hi, Toby.
That actually brought up another question. The monsters could you theoretically like eat and hunt and like cook up the monsters in the labyrinth?
You probably could. Because, I mean, you're using magicals to create the monsters, so I assume you're also making their flesh and meat and all that stuff.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, that good question. Where are you guys at?
We are at, apparently reassured, the beastmen went off to work with the outside, or to help with the outside work.
Okay, here's my thing. Did you pass the triple dots?
There was a one dot,
think
but
so.
I didn't see a triple one yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay, so you saw a one dot. Reassured.
Of course, your book's different too.
Apparently reassured. Yeah. Where is the sentence after the triple dot? Just so I know where to stop.
Within the main construction, with the main construction now in full swing.
Okay. So that's where so I have.
That's where the
left.
triple dots is, and that's where Moon is scheduled to take over.
Okay, gotcha. I'm almost there. A lot of they'd pitch in with the arena, evidently, under the command of Gubq. A lot of them were women and children, but that's beastmen for you. They all wanted to work, and each one was stronger than a human, at least. Gubq was giving them the basic manual labor jobs, it looked like, but better trained beastmen were on site as well now, aiding in construction. Training was supplying logs for the building. Don't ask me how she got them. While Beretta's precision carpentry turned them into usable boards. He could even cast a spell to dry the wood, which slashed the time involved dramatically. I thought I had abandoned my common sense long ago in this world, but it was sights like these that occasionally made me think, wow, I really am in a whole different world, huh? Okay. Now that's what
He just has he's like, oh shit, don't do this now. It's the freaking thing from like the Rooster Teeth animated. So like, I'm in this metal tube, thousands of feet in the air, and your brain's just like, oh shit, don't do this right now.
If this keeps up,
this is real.
Yeah. Yeah. If this keeps up, we truly could make it in time for the Founders Festival. I'd spit out the land I ate earlier to create a small mountain too. So perhaps we could use that as a field feature in the arena. It should work great. Leave the rest to us, Sir Imaru, said Gobq. I nodded, full of excitement over the arena's imminent completion. There we go. Moon, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. With the main construction now in full swing, Ramirez had been left to her devices. She needed a job, if only so she wouldn't start pestering everyone else. And what was she good at? Why expanding the labyrinth, of course. Better use her while I got her. I gotta say, Ramirez, your mazecraft skills amaze me. She had transported everything within a pretty broad stretch of land in the blink of an eye. I didn't want to compliment her too much.
Bad pun, yeah.
Yeah.
Mazecraft,
but I had to hand it.
Me. Bad pun is bad.
But I had to hand it to her here. The labyrinth itself was pretty amazing too. Oh, it's nothing. But right now, though, it's only this room, the deepest depths where my spirit friends live, and a connecting corridor. I'll have more levels for you tomorrow. It took 1 hour. Do what?
Detective was redeemed. Sorry to cut in.
No, that's important. Yeah, you have to read it as a noir detective.
Oh.
Noir detective narration. It was a sunny day.
Took 1 hour to build.
It was raining all day
Damn it.
long.
I got you. It took
Just
1 hour.
just
to build
think
a level,
Spider-Man
right?
Noir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Building a vast underground.
picture everything
labyrinth
black
that
and
went
white.
Down 100 floors would be a pretty tall order, even on modern day Earth. Building up, after all, is a hell of a lot easier.
Holy shit.
Ramirez's skill, though, made that possible.
Okay,
And
so
suddenly,
we learned what
some
Moon
pretty
can do.
fantastic dreams seemed within reach. Thank you.
It's good.
So from now on, everybody, we know the one voice that Moon is like if you want to request that voice for Moon,
Valley Girl.
Noir is the one.
Well,
no, that's for
yeah.
you. We learned. We
No,
learned
he's
that
a Valley
Callie
Girl
from the-
too. No, I'm Pally from the Valley. He's
no,
actually
no,
from the valley.
That's
I'm
your-
Callie from the valley.
No.
Oh yeah, Callie from the Valley. Yeah.
Callie from the Valley. But Callie from the Valley is specifically like the one that we want you to do. Noir is like his special one. Like
He's good.
everybody has their special ability, and his is Noir.
Special ability.
Wait, then which one's Shem then? If we
Miss
can pick
Piggy.
one.
Miss
Oh, Miss
Piggy.
Piggy. Oh, okay, fair
Miss
enough.
Piggy.
For sure.
Kermie.
God, which one is mine? Fuck.
You're Foghorn Leghorn.
I would say
Absolutely.
I would say your
The
Foghorn
Rev-
Leghorn or your
Reverend?
Joker is
The
most
Reverend?
strong.
Oh,
Yeah, Reverend Leghorn. Sorry.
Reverend Leghorn.
Yeah, Reverend Leghorn or Joker are like your
Joker,
strongest
yeah.
voices.
Oh, by the way,
I would say-
shameless plug for my channel. I have both Jokers available as voices on my channel: Heath Ledger and Mark Hamill.
Nice.
I can do Soy.
You could do it. Yeah, you can do a really mean Soe.
Just saying.
Yeah, man.
You sound,
Any
you sound just like
anime
the
guy.
you sound just like the abridged voice actor. I don't know how you do it.
Man, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
truly amazing.
It's
I don't know
uncanny.
how he does
It's
it.
uncanny. All right,
Uncanny.
X-Men. All right, moving on.
Okay,
By the
let's
way-
go with
by
your
the way,
limit then.
who's
100
excited-
floors.
Who's excited for that news? By the way,
What?
Deadpool 3
Oh,
was
for
announced.
the
Deadpool 3 was announced,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they straight
yeah.
up said
Yeah.
that Wolverine's gonna be in it. And I'm like,
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you, how
Yes!
would you like to be Wolverine again?
Hugh Jackman
sure.
officially confirmed is gonna be in Deadpool 3 as Wolverine, and I'm like,
It's gonna be
yeah,
so
baby.
great. I
Huge
love the
Jack-
chemistry those two have. They are hilarious.
Coming Hune. Coming Hune.
Hune.
Great.
I would have liked to see the trailer though, but
How
oh
far
well, it's
after
alright.
the show are we? Okay.
Far.
So the anime ended at the end of volume 6. We're at volume
Yeah.
8. So
Yeah.
we're like a whole volume ahead. We are probably all right. So we're at least a chapter and a half now ahead of the manga.
Mhm.
For at least a little while, there should be a new chapter of the manga. I have not checked because it's October. Blah, 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 blah. Indeed. Oh yeah, that's the best thing to happen.
I just
so
come
far
back
this
and
year.
I just hear.
Not necessarily, guys. The new Black Panther 2 trailer dropped today.
I
That
saw
was
that.
fucking amazing.
Wakanda
I
Forever.
saw that.
Yeah,
seen it.
Wakanda Forever. The official trailer for Wakanda Forever dropped today. It was so good. And if you're like, that's the best thing that's happened all year, sir, let me tell you about a little YouTube channel called Let's Game It Out. You have not properly have your funny bone tickled until you have seen his channel where he plays games in the absolute manner they are not intended, in the worst way possible, and breaks them. Oh, what is this? It's a game about building your own theme park with roller coasters? Well, what if we just made it a theme park where we launch roller coasters with the intention of killing our public?
I thought that's how everyone plays those kind of games.
I love that he
Yeah,
literally.
you do that at least
I love
once.
that he literally he funneled the survivors into a shotgun, which he then proceeded to shoot a roller coaster through to launch them out of the shotgun into a target, and then back down onto the main thoroughfare where they might be able to mingle their way back through the crowd toward the exit if they get lucky and don't get caught back in the original thing that sent them off to begin with. It's
I may have seen
great.
this guy. Did he make a roller coaster that went light speed?
I don't know if he went light speed. Dude, he made a raft that went light speed in Raft. He didn't use engines. He put so many sails on it that it went so fast it broke the game.
That's amazing.
Yes! It's great.
Like-
Oh man.
All right, just
Has to be like a really small raft, though, right?
He built multiple. No. It was a huge
Really?
raft.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every section of the raft was covered in sails.
Yeah.
You were severely underestimating. You were severely underestimating how this man thinks. This man created a.
Well, I assume you could just stack them in literally in the same one, so it literally just looks like it's one thing.
This man created a floating fortress of tiny rafts that he connected together with zip lines, and by the time he got through it became a spider's nightmare.
That's awesome.
Like, there were so many.
Spider's nightmare?
Yeah, a spider would look at that and what ungodly monstrosity made this. Like, even a spider would be like, there's no way you can blame me for this monstrosity. The most cracked out spider imaginable has more organization than this.
More sense.
More organization is where I would put it. But yes. Yeah.
Oh.
I love the tornado. Dude, he got the planks, and I showed this to Calvin last night. He died laughing. It was great. His most recent raft, he made a big tornado around his raft out of wood. It was great.
The wood tornado.
I've seen that.
It's so great.
The wood-nado.
He's like looking at out there, just floating around in nature as it passes by islands. It's pretty big. It's bigger than most small islands. It's phenomenal. I love it. It's great.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's so stupid and broken, and I love
You feel like you're gonna try to recreate it in raft now.
Oh,
good.
I'm willing to try. I am so willing to try.
That would be terrifying. Oh
man.
Could your computer handle it?
No.
Would it be like, ah?
I need to. All right. So that reminds me, the newest Fat Dog Dalmatian. I need a new CPU. I need a new motherboard and a processor that is better than the one I currently have.
GPU is gonna be a bitch.
It's all for editing. Every last
twice the
editing.
RAM. Also, I could bring you content for my own channel and not for this one. Also, a better camera, better quality of criminal.
Quality.
All right, sorry.
Quality mic.
Okay.
Moon, take over. Once we get to the next set of triple dots, which will be after that, I asked her about her progress. That's where Sonic will take over.
Gotcha.
And then I will, if we make it there. I don't know how long. I mean, honestly, Shim, with you reading for so long, we're over halfway. We're way further than I thought we'd be.
Oh,
we're halfway there.
Oh, Squidward in a chair.
It's Aerith with a chair.
Moisturizing hair.
Yeah.
Flying through the air.
Oh shit, that's a bear.
149 is where we started on my part, and we're at 167 right now.
Damn.
Yeah, you chewed up some literature, sir.
Good.
Now imagine how far we could go if we just let one person read through the entirety of this. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's like every one of us gets one stream each.
Yeah. And I'm just here to distract everybody with my shenanigans.
Yeah.
All right, now that it's you guys don't help.
Yeah.
You make my ADHD worse. All right, anyway.
We try.
You do, and that's sad.
Oh
no!
Oh, wait for it. I love that it was his turn, and he yeeted himself.
Did you do that on purpose?
What? No! My Discord just suddenly restarted itself, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Maybe I had to update or something.
It really wanted to apply that update.
I guess. It's just like, all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, Moon, and I'm like, wait, what happened to me? Where'd everything go?
Your Discord has a great sense of comedic timing.
Apparently.
Yeah,
Little
it
pain
really
in the
does.
ass.
Chat, can we clip that?
There we go. Okay. What were you, Richie? What did I miss?
What were we talking about?
How distracting.
You said my name.
Should we just have you continue reading? I don't know.
Okay.
All right, Moon, it's your turn. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sir.
Yeah, read.
Huh? Do you need that many? Yep. I want to fill it up with traps, and I want enough space to gradually up the monster challenge level as you go down. I mean, that's fine by me, but can I ask you something? What? I was just wondering, how do you plan to expand the number of monsters in there? Are you gonna catch them somewhere? I suppose her question made sense. It'd take a lot of monsters to fill 100 levels. But I had an idea. Let's tell her a little about it, at least so she'll cooperate with me. Well, between you and me, I let her in on the secret of how I wanted to structure this dungeon. As she listened, I could see her eyes begin to twinkle. Wait, right. So then, Ramirez. We began offering suggestions to each other as we whispered. This was getting exciting, and given it was the two of us involved, we naturally began to go off on tangents we never should have. Before long, we had worked out the concept for our advanced dungeon, as we called it. I honestly wondered if we could get away with it, but there's no turning back now. We had to do it. And so, does it get dark in here at night?
God damn
Sure
it,
does.
Sonic.
Wait, son of a bitch. Wait. Okay, there we go. Okay. Wait, what'd he say?
He said, I'm going to build a wall and make Ramirez pay for it.
You're terrible.
I'm going to build a labyrinth
What
and
you
make
do the
Ramirez
goblins?
pay
But I was
for
like, no, this is more appropriate.
it. No, it's not. Damn you. You know what's... All right, here's the thing. You know what's actually appropriate? Everybody that's bitching about immigration and the issues with immigration and how we should build a wall, these are the same motherfuckers that pushed a coup in Venezuela, and then all the people that are fleeing Venezuela because of the attempted coup. Hey, guess what? It's your fault that we're getting all these refugees here. So maybe, instead of bitching about immigrations, why don't you take a look at the consequences of your own motherfucking actions?
Drops mic.
Sorry. Let's continue.
His mic's attached to his thing.
Let's continue talking about slime.
I'll be a walrus man.
Cuckoo.
Walrus man.
Yep.
Ramirez was itching to start, promising me that she'd build this labyrinth with everything she had. You can take your time and rest along the way, okay? Ha! There's no way I'll take a rest after hearing an idea like this. I'm gonna do it, let me tell ya. Whatever. I was just trying to motivate her a little, but I guess I got her really riled up. I'm glad she liked the romance of the idea, at least. I was just as excited. It was like a fantasy come alive. Well, do your best. I'll get everything we need ready. All right, good luck, Rimuru. You too, Ramirez. We were comrades in arms now, grinning at each other. Exiting the labyrinth, I found the sun was already about to set. We must have been talking for a while. Work had finished for the day, with crews cleaning up and starting to cook dinner. I didn't want to bother them, so I told Gobkyu and Sufia that I'd see them the next day and took off. My next stop was Kurobe's workshop, so I could have him give me some of the weapons and armor he couldn't sell on the market. Stuff that was more to his personal tastes. The southwest side of town was currently an industrial kind of area, and Kurobe's place was there, along with workshops owned by his apprentices. There was also dorm space for the newer pupils without their own sites yet, along with lines of warehouses. There were inns and restaurants for all these craftsmen and apprentices, of course, and overall, it was a fairly lively place. Kurobe's workshop was dead in the middle of it, and when I popped in, he warmly greeted me, showing me to his storage building after wrapping up dinner. Right here, Sir Rimuru. The stuff I have locked up in this warehouse is all pretty unique. Not the kind of thing anyone can handle easily, you know. Are you all right with that?
By the way, everybody, the new chapter that's coming out is chapter 100.
Hey, that's cool.
Chapter 100 of Slime. Yeah. And happy Spooktober, everybody.
Spooky, scary skeletons. You said it.
I hate you so much. Somebody DM'd me this, and I'm like, fuck. But also, since I am such a big, scary bitch, big scaredy bitch. I
was gonna say I'm one of those two. I don't like scary horror movies.
Yeah, since I'm a big scaredy bitch, should I go to a haunted house thing and record it? And I was like,
Yeah, we have a famous one here in Georgia called Netherworld.
Deader world?
Netherworld.
Oh, Netherworld. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's supposedly
Here.
a thing around called rigor mortis that I haven't gone to.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah,
It sounds scary.
I've never really been to haunted houses other than like school functioned ones. So,
Mhm.
but fuck yeah, no. Ah,
Spooky.
Scariest thing at a school haunted house. You forgot to study for your test.
I have that dream every night.
Quiz.
you're surrounded by judgmental children and teenagers. Okay,
Wait,
that
that's
is actually
high
scary.
school.
That is actually scary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh no, my self-confidence tanking years from now.
It's like, I remember high school.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
All right.
Good times.
Yep. Anything else, or?
I go for it.
Eyebrows.
Yeah, that's it.
I nodded my approval. Kurobe was right. Not all of it was very user-friendly or accessible. Some of it was locked up because it was too powerful, but a lot of it was just a total handful to use. The armor was a great example, like the suit of mail that sucked the wearer's magical force to erect a magic barrier. That might sound useful, but it continually sapped your power whether you wanted it to or not, eventually killing the hapless owner. Great defense, but a pretty damn pointless piece of equipment. There was also a sword that attracted all magicules in the local area like a magnet, making it impossible to cast any spells, and transformed them into explosive force. You definitely got a bang out of it, but it didn't exactly spare the wielder from the blast. I'd be way too scared to use that thing, or the suit of armor that granted the wearer extraordinarily physical strength for a limited time. Once that time expired, your muscles all ruptured, rendering you motionless and dead unless you had healing magic on hand. Yikes. Ah, that's a scary thought. So basically, you had a room full of equipment that could kill you if you weren't paying attention. I doubted anybody in town was dumb enough to try any of this unevaluated stuff out, especially because I didn't want to take the responsibility for the fallout. But I thought it'd all work just fine in Ramirez's labyrinth. Yeah, it's fine, I told Kurobe. These actually seem really valuable if you take into account all their different features. This was decent stuff, after all. Much of it was valued at rare or above, with a few uniques scattered here and there, in the same lineup as the Scale Shield and Tempest Dagger I gifted Cabal's party. I picked up one of the items, the Tempest Sword, as I turned to Kurobe. It seems like kind of a waste, doesn't it? Keeping all this high-quality stuff in here just because it's still in the test stage. Don't you want to pair some of it with the kind of people who could really take advantage of it? I was trying to lead him to the answer. I was trying to lead him to the answer I wanted. Kurobe took the bait. Oh? Well, you can take whatever you like from here. I wasn't tricking him exactly, but I did feel kind of bad about it. Soon, Kurobe's warehouse was a fair bit emptier. Now I had a set of weapons I could populate the treasure chests in the labyrinth with. They'd be obtained by adventurers who earned the right to them by reaching the level I put them in. So I didn't lie to Kurobe at all. No need to look a gift horse in the mouth. Still, I was amazed at his sheer output. There was more here than the last time I had stopped by. I'd say it was at over 100 items now. Much of it was dicey, yes, but some pieces were just difficult to master. The one common link among them was that they were all superior to anything you'd see in the capital at Inglacia, the kind of thing you'd normally only see at auction. During the Harvest Festival, that marked my ascension to Demon Lord, Kurobe received that unique skill, Mastercraft. This was a force that stacked on top of his previous researcher's skill, polishing it further. By this point, he was way past Kaijin. Whenever he got serious about a project, it wasn't uncommon for a unique grade piece of equipment to result. Rare level for sure, at least. That was much of the reason why only his apprentices' work appeared at public showings. Gotta say, though, I'm impressed. I've learned forging myself, but no way I could make any of this. High praise from you, Sir Rimuru. Oh, but let me give you this before I forget. Suddenly serious, the ever-modest Kurobe returned to the tatami mat room in the rear to fetch something. What's this? Well, it's something I've made you wait far too long for. He handed me a long, straight sword. The blade a jet black in color, not too long, but not too short, made just for me at truly the ideal length. So this is, yep, my greatest masterpiece yet. At first glance, the only unusual thing about the sword was its black body. There wasn't some ultra-powerful aura shooting out. It wasn't generating its own magic or anything, but that's what I wanted. This blade's focus was squarely on durability. It'd never break, never bend, and would fully adjust itself to my magical force, without wreaking havoc around me, like with Hinata's Moonlight Sword. It allowed me to be wholly unrestrained in a fight. Well done. You've made me proud, Kurobe. I'm just as proud of it as you. Trust me on that. But the sword isn't complete just yet. As you know, my weapons usually have a hole at the base. The way you suggested they should. I looked at the base. Oh, I don't see any here. No, the other weapons get that hole when they're complete, but not this one, because once it acclimates to your magic force, it'll grow and evolve. And despite that, I built it, so it'll always look like just another sword otherwise. He had a right to be proud. As he put it, this sword in its complete state could be a piece of legend-class material, not that it felt that way presently. The other equipment in the family was still under development, and the magic crystal meant to go into the hole he mentioned wasn't done yet. No point having a hole if there was nothing for it yet. I would just look forward to that forthcoming moment. All this talk about holes.
I can hear the giggity in your voice. I can hear the giggity in your voice, you fucking child.
Giggity.
Sorry.
All right. I feel better.
No, he's the one reading. You guys were keeping it in. Giggity. However, he was the one.
Oh, check chat.
I did.
Okay.
In Reamer's new sword, insert innuendo here. Yeah, fuck off.
Look, all this talk about holes, man, it's
Make you guys do the work.
I mean, why don't you check chat? Look how long I've paid myself. It's been 12 months that I've been subscribed to Fat Dog Studios.
Thank you, Dexter. Thank you.
I'm a patron.
Yeah, I did. I did. Thank you, Daxter. Yeah, that's really fun. Yeah, to Fat Dog, become my patron. I don't do anything, but I need your money.
I'm poor.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to offer you anything, but thank you anyway.
I will. I mean, my humblest thanks. That's what you get. Automatic.
My
entry.
deepest respect.
My deepest respect. Automatic entry into. I mean, there are some things that I do post on my channel, like stuff that I come up with for Fat Dog that I'm like, yeah, this is never gonna happen, but it would be cool to get up people's opinions on this, and so I put it on my Patreon, and I'm just like, wonder who thinks this is a neat idea, and that's basically it. You're a patron to both, not much of one, but yeah, Spider's a patron. But to be fair, you're gonna spend more money on Genshin Impact than you will on me. And that's not specifically Spider. That's just people in general. You'll probably spend more on Genshin if you play Genshin than you would spend on my Patreon. Just say it.
Gotta get that C6.
Could you blame him?
Bro, Genshin's really good right now.
They really want Raiden.
Raiden?
C6 Raiden or C6 Eula.
From whenever that banner came out.
Oh my god. Eula and Raiden. Oh my god, that was so last year.
I'm assuming there are stronger things now.
I don't play Genshin, so I don't know. I'm outdated.
Here's the funny thing. That was update 2.0. We're now at 3.1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're now all right. That was Japan. We're now in India.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got like the really
Samara.
cool, like, I forgot her name, but she's kind of got the darker skin. She's got like the cool armor.
Nah, C2 Raiden's good enough.
I think.
Yeah, dude. Mm. But they have now introduced double wish banners. So old characters come back on the opposite wish. Okay. So you get new characters in one banner and old C5 characters in another, and it's fucking annoying because sometimes I want the new character, but I also want the old character. So I was like, do I want Master Tainori? Yeah, I kind of do, but I want Zhongli more. I want a fucking C2 Zhongli more. Yeah, he's a Fox character.
That's right, he's a Fox main.
Yeah, he's Fox main. Dendro Fox main. Candace, I just got Candace. Like, for the first time. I pulled her. I finally have C6 Sayu now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Off topic. Back to the book. I
left Kurobe's workshop with a spring in my step. I had my own sword, and I also got all the other stuff I wanted. Now I could seed those treasure chests and spread them all around the dungeon. It'd be kind of fun to insert boss monsters to protect the particularly nice pieces too. This was almost like designing a real-life dungeon crawl RPG, and it was unbelievably exciting. Yeah, you could probably make a mint selling these. Yeah, make a mint selling these test items and failed experiments at auction. I'm sure Mulamile or Fuse, could hook me up with the right people for that. Let me try. It'd be a sure way of earning income, but I didn't want that. The key here was to get humans interacting with monsters. I wanted to bring people over here and have them experience everything that made Tempest great. And if they liked what they saw, I'm sure they would come back.
Make
This
Tempest
was just
great again.
one part of that effort.
Make Tempest great again.
Oh my god.
Plus, this wasn't just a
Going
matter
off
of
that thing
bribing
from earlier.
adventurers with loot and sending them on their way. I already had the next step of the process in mind. Let's say you have someone hacking their way through the dungeon, collecting assorted items and bringing them back to the surface, using non-appraised weapons or armor. Using non-appraised weapons or armor, I had heard, was considered extremely dangerous. That's where my little friend Assess comes in. This stuff was made in Tempest, so I naturally knew all about their traits and features. A lot of it would be quite useful to adventurers, assuming you used it right. Yeah, some of it was downright dangerous, but we'd offer a buyback service for that. Money is meant to be circulated, not kept in a vault or whatever. As long as we purchased the materials we needed and paid for necessary upkeep, we could give back the rest to the adventurers. Word would spread about this over time, and I was sure it'd make our land famous. Besides, filling adventurers' wallets would improve the outlook for our inns and lodging houses. More people coming to Tempest meant less downtime for places like that, which was important for business and for advertising. So the southeast side of town would have a battle arena with Ramirez's dungeon underneath. On the southwest, we'd have discount inns and hostels. Unlike the high-end facilities to the northeast, we'd keep things cheap down there, attracting primarily adventurers to help delineate our offerings. Their location would be convenient to the labyrinth, and I was positive it'd be a booming success.
All right, did you get
I was worried
everything that you just read? Did you understand everything that you just read?
I think.
Did you understand the economy that he just built right there in his head?
Yeah,
He's
so
like-
he's got
he's
like,
like, okay,
the fun and
we're gonna
stuff
have
up
some
here, all the
crazy-
housing and shit
we're gonna
down
have,
here.
We're gonna have some crazy powerful weapons and shit that people are gonna be able to find, but they're gonna have harmful side effects. So what they could do is they can sell them back to us, and we could give them materials and stuff and we could set up separate housing for the people that are coming here to compete in the Coliseum matches, and also housing for the people in inns and food and armorers and blacks and smithing and all that stuff for that. So he's coming up with kind of like the little society based around this little dungeon crawl thing that he's come up with so far. So,
It's pretty smart, honestly. It's pretty genius.
he's literally, and all of this is coming from the fact that he just wants to build a real life RPG dungeon crawler.
Mhm.
That's what it's all about.
It's all about the money. I don't want
What
world
this huge
domination.
project is about.
I want commerce.
That's what this.
I mean, he's
whole-
kind of dominating the world, not even trying.
Yeah,
That's literally what this is right now. Is him just going, I kind of want an RPG.
Yeah, sir.
But yeah, that's kind of where. All right, so what he's saying is actually important. And I didn't want that to kind of go over your head. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how he's just kind of saying the shit off the cuff. And it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I want to do this, and I want to do that. It's like, chotomate. Chotomate.
Chotomate kudasai.
Last year, he wanted the food from his old world. Now he wants RPGs from his old world.
I mean, he wants to play games, but he wants to play games IRL, you know? And the way
When's he
that
going
he's
to get a video game console? When
Yeah,
is he going to get his people on that?
well, all right, so
They don't need that.
bro, let them work on transportation first. Let them work on transportation first. They're building roads. Right now they've got roads that have good security and they're well maintained and have good rest stops and inns and stuff along the way, right? Well, the next
Yes.
step to that is how do you travel faster, or how do you travel farther, faster, and carry supplies across nations in a way that is beneficial to his nations that are partners? That's the big thing right there. It's like, okay, he's got the Dwarven nation, he's got the Thalian Empire, he's got his new buddies over in what used to be Farmus, which is becoming something else with its new king Yom, and his new nation allied 1 century long allied with the church and their nation. So there's all that, and they're going to want to trade and do trade and share resources with one another. And how do you get that going back and forth in a timely manner? So transportation, that's how honestly human civilization evolved, was through the development of transportation made industry grow. That's a lot of what caused the major booming of the Industrial Revolution. A lot of it. No.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter if you want to build a certain thing if you can't get the material to where it needs to be.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, if you're interested, I would highly encourage you guys to check out the thing that Corridor Digital put out recently about our energy production, because I was surprised at how much energy that we actually use is wasted in just heat alone. It's like, wow, how much heat energy just gets wasted, and that's what's really messing everything up. We're putting blankets upon blankets upon blankets on our planet. So, yeah.
Oh.
We're heating it up a little too much.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a tad. All right. Anyway.
Tiny bit.
All right. I was worried at first when Ramirez talked about moving here, but maybe that was the right thing to do all along, huh?
Right.
We also plan to have at least 1 or 2 large-scale events at the arena each year. Malamile was no doubt filling in the rest of the year's schedule with other things too. Military training, tester metal events for adventurers, and so on. There could be a lot of demand for that kind of thing, I thought. We could have people try to use that training in the dungeon. A kind of standardized exam, you could say. If you can't die in there, you could try some crazy stuff you'd ordinarily never dream of attempting. Realizing how many options were open to us, not just commercial either, I decided to talk with Benimaru later about them.
I wish I was experiencing this with you guys for the first time, instead of knowing all the stuff that I know in advance, because I think we would have so much fun deliberating upon what this could mean.
And commenting.
Like, when I first read this, my mind was going off at all the potential stuff that could be happening. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, literally, you could die and be resurrected outside of the labyrinth?
Yeah, that's
This
pretty
is
awesome.
such a game changer. Do you understand the training? Like, the Adventurers Guild, if you get the Adventurers Guild involved and you could do, like, legit on-the-job training, this is why you shouldn't take these things so lightly. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
Always check your
This
equipment
is why
before
you should
wearing
be
it.
careful with this weapon.
So I want to. All right, Moon. I'm going to take you off. I want to take us to. I want to do a little bit of Rimuru lessons right now, and let you guys, instead of me telling you guys what could potentially be happening, I want you guys to deliberate on some of the things that you think might happen, or like, hey, if you had access to all of this, and this was the plan, and this was the world, what would you do with it? I'm curious to hear that. So let's start this conversation off. I'm okay with this, especially because we're at a dot right now, so we're at a good place to pause for a moment. So
We've made more progress on this than we expected.
yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's the other thing. I don't want it to just be us reading. I want us to actually have a commentary on this. Because if we're just reading, then what's the point of coming to see us? Like, yeah, we do silly, wacky voices, but like, dude, let's brainstorm on this. It's like, this is like,
Let's have some fun with this.
this is groundbreaking shit. I told you guys that Ramirez, her ability is broken, and Rimuru knows how to take advantage of it more than anybody, because like, duh, otherworlder. Yeah. But yeah, so Where you guys at on this? Where are your thoughts, feelings? What you got?
Like
I
what
kind of had the thought of like, because they have some ways of like recording and like sending messages in one, like with the whole Hinata message situation or Reamer's message to Hinata. I want to know, when can we get to the point with this where they could? I'm assuming they can like send video through magic heals and whatever live. When can we like have like a big event in Tempest where they could just have commentary of someone trying to go through all of it, or like a party?
So
And just have like
you're
color
essentially talking
commentary,
about
like the sport or whatever.
So you're essentially talking about kind of like a live broadcast, not
Yes.
necessarily a
All
stream,
people
but
going
like
through the labyrinth.
so a broadcast of them like spots that are showing action within the labyrinth, and then like, okay, well, I don't know if they would have commentators necessarily in the context that you're thinking about, or maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. But like, say you have commentators on stage. Is that kind of what you're thinking about? Like, you have a bunch of people gathered in one area. You have people on stage commentating, and then on the screen you're seeing what they're talking. You see the action unfolding. Is that what you're kind of discussing or describing?
I was kind of thinking more of like you know how with sports commentators they have like the two guys kind of go back and forth as the game plays. It's kind of like a sports one, and then maybe have like a guest commentator along with that, something like that, maybe.
Okay, so you're not too far off. You're pretty close. You're pretty close to something that actually ends up happening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You're pretty close.
Interesting.
I will, when you got,
10.
here's the thing. You didn't hit it right on the bullseye, but you were right on the fucking line, dude. You're so goddamn close. You're so
By
goddamn
technicality,
close.
it's not a bullseye.
It's not a bullseye.
There's no like commentary right there.
Because you're like, if you had just been like, yeah, kind of like that, I'd be like, okay, they do that. And then you're like, oh, fuck. But you were like, you changed it. You were like, no, like this. So I'm like, technically, they don't do that.
It's more narrowed down,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe I narrowed it down too much.
Yeah, you narrowed it down too much. All right. Well, what do you two think?
Well, I had an interesting thought. So, is it possible
A
for
Tempest
Ramirez to
Comedy Club?
connect doors in different locations to different labyrinths, or connect different labyrinths together?
Yes. Technically, there are quote unquote floors that are only accessible to certain people that have no connection to the actual dungeon. It is basically the giant Tempest R&D facility, the research and development area, where all the scientists from all the different parts that gather and are working on these breakthrough inventions in Tempest later. They're all situated in the labyrinth, but they are not technically connected to the dungeon, and you can't necessarily get there, though logistically they're connected to the 95th floor. And here's the other thing. I'm going to give you this caveat. In wartime, what can happen, because this does happen, is the entire city of Rimuru can just be swallowed up inside the labyrinth. And be placed on one
like a
floor.
shelter, basically.
And just be placed on one floor. No. It's like nothing changed. It's just suddenly inside the labyrinth. But on the outside, it's just gone. There's just an archway.
Wow. Okay.
There's just an archway.
Oh,
nice.
And when you go through the archway, you enter level 1. And keep in mind that an invading army is not going to have the necessary conditions of when you die, you get tossed out of the labyrinth. Because that requires... All right. So it changes how war is fought in Tempest.
On his terms.
Here's the thing. What if Rimuru just allows you to march on his city and is like, come on. Come get us. We're in here. Come.
Wait for the whole army to get in there. Okay.
What you gonna do about it?
I don't
Time to train my boys.
But I don't want to talk too much about it, but like the ways that the labyrinth can be used are fucking phenomenal. What are some interesting ways? Just knowing what you know right now. We're dealing with different things. Like there's so many attributes that we haven't even touched on yet for the labyrinth. The labyrinth is probably one of the coolest things that you're just beginning to get into. This changes Tempest overall. Everything that you know about Tempest.
So I want to elaborate
and how
a
it's
little more.
been built so far is about to dynamically change everything. Like when I say that Tempest is self-sufficient, I'm not joking. Here's the thing. All right, so you guys remember how lush the cave was that Rimuru spawned in?
Mm-hmm.
That was because of Veldora, right?
Right.
Well, Veldora was encased, so that was just the magicules that could leak out of that imprisonment. What if he didn't have that imprisonment anymore?
Then it just
And he was able to just kind of let it out, you know? And imagine how magically rich that place becomes, you know?
Yeah, it's just.
And so that's
then you can
more
do
of a
anything.
haven for monsters, like the power-ups that they can get from that magically rich environment. But also, you know, that's good for like your resources, like your ores and things like that. So you're constantly
Plants,
generating
your
that,
medicine.
your plants, your minerals, your metals, your ores. So for the smithing side of things, for your herbological side of things, that's good. That's so all the stuff that you've slowly been building up and making this foundation of, now you've got a way to constantly generate that. So there's kind of some of that, I guess. But I'm curious. I want to hear the two of you talk a little bit about what are some things that you think of. Because the labyrinth is such an interesting idea. There's so much you could do with it.
So, I mean, do you want to hear the
Go for it.
the real thought I had, or did you want to hear the stupid thing that I had first?
Both. I want to hear both.
Okay.
I want to hear both.
So, like, the real idea that I thought of immediately from what you were saying about that would be like a giant, like, metroplex of basically, it's like a theme park. So, like, you could have, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have, like, different faction or different parts of the world or the labyrinth, like, devoted towards different things. Like, you could have, like, rides and, like fun eating places and, like, 5-star, like, fucking carnival things and food stands and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That could be kind of cool. Yeah.
The theme park thing,
Yeah.
I would love to see that in there. Reamer's stupid for not thinking that. Some of the 5-star accommodation stuff they do eventually add. So you've got
That makes
some of
sense.
that. You got some of that. Like the resting areas, they do have like 5-star facilities and resting areas because they want some of their premier clientele to like come back, and they want them to spend their money there. So they're like, hey, if you're tearing up floors, please spend your money here. We've got all these amenities.
Oh,
The Forest of Tempest.
I just thought of one.
Spend your money here.
All right. Your dumb idea.
Oh God.
Yeah,
so
go
my
ahead, read
really
it first.
stupid idea was like, okay, you got like a bunch of different kinds of monster girls. You could have essentially.
Shut the mate.
no.
Let me stop you right there. Yes. Yes, they did already build the harem girl bar inside.
Oh my God.
Yes, they did. If you think Rimuru did not,
Zoom
they already built the harem girl liquor bar in the labyrinth. They will do that. Rimuru is a slime of culture. Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
So it's the Monster Musume bar.
It's the Monster
Yeah,
Musume
you would
bar.
have the
Yeah.
biggest one ever.
All right.
So it would be like, would people not want to pay for that? That would be amazing. And you could have like one devoted for like the strong monster dudes.
Moon, you're up.
You know?
So going back to my original thought that I was talking about, I was actually thinking, what if there was a way to like set up a door in another like town or whatever, so you could like fast travel to Tempest?
Unfortunately, that's not a thing that she can do. Ramirez can't do that. There are limitations.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. There are limitations outside of the labyrinth. Like once you get into the actual world out there, I don't think she can connect her old labyrinth to her new labyrinth. I think those are still separate. Not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I don't think that's possible. No.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
You just have to make a series of labyrinths that happen to connect to them.
this is also keep in mind that this is very much the reason why, like, so many demon lords look down on Ramirez and they wonder why it is that she has such protection and the affection of Milim and Guy Crimson. Number one, she was there in the beginning with Milim and Guy. So if you guys remember the flashback about Milim's story when she became the first demon lord or whatever, that literally is Ramirez and Guy with her. That's Ramirez's full-grown fairy queen adult form. And she is pretty powerful, but like her power resides very differently than like the physical people and the ungodly magical throwing around craziness that is Guy and Milim. Hers is more, she has complete control over her domain. Once you're in her domain, it's her way or the highway. Like once you step into her domain, you breathe her air. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go into Milim's domain and you fuck around, she will help you find out.
Is it like the Freddy Krueger thing where, like, you know, you're in his dreamland, so he can do whatever he wants with you?
No, it's very much a physical thing.
Okay, so it's not okay.
And
so it's not like
here's the other thing.
Party tricks and illusions. She can fuck
Here's the
with
other
you.
thing. Here's the other thing.
Okay.
She does not.
Yeah.
She does not have to resurrect you.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just be like, no,
Yeah,
he
we
stays
talked
dead.
about that earlier, remember?
This is very much.
Yeah, that's right.
She was the one with. She was the one to calm Milim. Yeah, she was. All right, Sonic, you had one thing left that you wanted to expand upon.
I wanted to going back to my commentary idea a little bit, but also mixing in Shem's more serious idea. I kind of would like the idea of them. There's kind of like, you know, in arcades where you have like the scoreboard and whatever, you see how far someone can go in, whatever.
Let me stop
I just
you right
imagine
there.
someone be like, we make a scoreboard.
Let me stop you right there. Yes, there is a live rankings list.
Yeah.
That's
Let
awesome.
me go ahead and.
I just imagine someone be like, don't beat my high score. Do not go above this floor. I'm going to be pissed.
I'm the top scarer of Rimuru's domain. James P. Sullivan, that is I.
All right, there we go. All
I
right,
worked my ass off to get to level 74. Yeah.
All right, back to the book, everybody. Because now we're about to get to the point. All right, we're now about to get to a good point. We're about to rope Vildora into this, and this is where stuff gets fun.
Oh, hey, Daxter has a really good idea here. Hold on.
What
if they put a floor for little kids, a jamboree for aspiring adventurers? Ramirez would let kids fight mini slimes while Rimuru looks horrified.
Oh. I mean, could be fun, you know. He wouldn't look horrified, but it would be kind of a fun
The
thing.
look
to
he has on his face, too.
It's a fun art concept. Unfortunately, there is already a training. All right, so let me go ahead and tell you this. They do end up having. There are some things that they haven't thought of in the beginning that they're going to have to amend to the dungeon later, such as training facilities. And these are for any first-timers coming into the dungeon, because any adventurer coming into the dungeon the first time has to learn the dungeon mechanics. Now, people can opt out of learning these because you have to pay to take the tutorial, but the tutorial's very important. And the kids take the tutorial. So it's really funny when these adventurers come in and skip the tutorial. They're like, I know what I'm fucking doing. And then they get passed.
Right.
By fucking 12-year-olds.
That ranking system.
Keep in mind, Rimuru's kids. Walking right on past. Yes. But yeah, there
Did
are
he shed a
classes-
tear?
Here's the thing. There are actual classes that are slowly being built in Tempest as well. Like schooling and things like that. And there are kids that are taking these, but there are also adults taking this. It's becoming popular to learn to read and write with the human, demi-human, and monsters that live in Tempest, because math and language and reading and writing are very important to living, working, and surviving in Tempest. You need to know these things.
Mm-hmm.
So education is becoming a thing. And not only that, but they're also offering what is it? It's not technical schools, but you know what I'm saying. What's the term? Trade schools. Thank you.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, but basically trade schools. They have things like that.
Vocations, I guess.
Vocational school. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I would say something like. But nowhere near what we have, because our system is greedy, and there's they're trying to make money. They're trying to make an income, but like the whole purpose is like, if you teach a person to do these things, then it's good for us because they'll do those things here. And so, yeah, it just overall...
Like, there's an old proverb about giving a man food and he'll last a day.
Teach a man to fish and he can feed himself forever.
There you go.
Yeah. But no, I understand what you're saying, but no, that's not where we're going with it. It's more like, hey, if we help this person learn to do this thing, then they'll do this thing here in Tempest. So if we teach them to do this, then it's good for us, not good for them. Whereas the proverb is, if you teach them to do this thing, it's good for them. But if we teach them to do this thing, it's good for us. All right. Anyway, back to it. Stone's Stream Dubs, thank you for the 20 bits. Pay to live and pay for hints. Yeah, exactly.
I had
we're
my
getting
seed
to the
items,
fun Veldora stuff. Sorry.
but it was too early to focus on the dungeon. That could wait until it was done. For now, I wanted to wrap up talks with the one person we needed for the final touches. The whole cornerstone of this scheme, Veldora.
Yep.
I found him relaxing in my little house, a bit removed from town. A nice little Asian-style tea house. There's actually a secret to this building, but I'll go into that later. Veldora was treating the place like he owned it or something, which I didn't mind that much, but come on, man. Yo, Veldora, can you do me a favor?
What? I'm busy.
Yeah, busy reading manga, maybe. Too bad. I thought this was a pretty neat offer, too. But if you're busy, then oh well. I just figured we could use your aura to... Oh, right, sorry, you're busy. Never mind. I pretended to walk away, leaving what was supposed to be my own house. Was a little weird. But, well, I had lots of places to sleep. Besides...
Oh, just one moment. I am busy, yes, but if you insist upon it, I will lend you an ear.
Great. I hooked him.
Tsundere
As gullible as always. I see. As gullible as always, I see. Like taking candy from a baby. I should start calling him the Gully Dragon?
Yeah, Gullible Dragon. Gully Dragon.
Oh, Gully Dragon.
Yeah.
The rest would now easily fall in place. I stood tall, looking as haughty as possible. Well, I started trying to sound suggestive. I was thinking about providing a den for you to live in, sort of.
What? My own place? You mean it?
I really got him now. He took his eyes off the manga he was reading, watching me curiously. Yep, all for you. But if you're too busy right now...
Wait! No need to be in such a hurry. We're friends, are we not? I'd be glad to put your request at the top of the queue.
I had Veldora excited now. Perfect. Might as well go through with the pitch. He almost never listened to people, so these preliminaries really were necessary. A pain in the ass, but I just considered it a little ceremony I conducted to help him be useful for a change. Yes, what are friends for, after all?
Precisely! Tell me what you want!
Well, Ramirez is moving into town, and we're gonna build her labyrinth right underneath the arena, so...
Oh, Ramirez!
Veldora replied, picking up on what this meant.
Her powers are a bit of an unknown quantity to me. I understood them as creating paths that led you to the same spot no matter where you were. Does she twist and turn these paths around you to create mazes?
Right. And she can add more floors to these mazes, so I want to fill them with tricks and traps and stuff.
More floors? That little girl was more powerful than I thought then.
Now Veldora was looking serious, engaged. So gullible. I then regaled him about the entire story behind our dungeon plan. But it'd be boring to just have a plain old labyrinth, right? That's why I want to make it into something really great. Like, great enough to be a huge attraction. I was just talking with Ramirez today, but she's busy adding levels to her labyrinth right now.
Oh, and how does that connect to me?
Well, I'm thinking we need an overlord to govern the dungeon.
An overlord?
Ramirez and I will manage the dungeon itself. On the 100th floor at the bottom, there's a door that leads to the spirit labyrinth that's Ramirez's main residence.
Yeah.
Don't you think a door like that needs a guardian, Veldora? Like the strongest guardian in history?
I do. Yes, well said, Rimuru. And you would like me to take this role?
Just as I thought.
No, I want Millum on the job.
Just as I thought. He latched on
I just want to tell you what you thought of it. Sorry, go ahead.
The word strongest, when pointed at him, usually made him melt. So I knew uttering it would have the desired effect. That's right, Veldora. And if you'll take it, you'll get another bonus out of it too.
Oh, I was already waiting to say yes to you, but let's hear what this bonus is.
The bonus? Oh, really? The gist of the whole thing. So, you've been wanting to let off your aura for a little while, right? You said you were about to hit your limit or whatever.
You mean...
Yes. In the labyrinth, you'll be free to unleash it all you want. You can go back to your normal dragon form, even. Just imagine this divinely cool dragon lurking deep in the depths of a forbidding labyrinth.
Meaning myself?
He interrupted.
So I'll be allowed to use my full power on anyone who visits. Oh, welcome, you insects and so forth.
Plainly, he loved it. The lethargy of a moment ago was gone. Dangling that bait in front of him got him monstrously. Damn it! Someone messaged me on Discord. It's covering words. Got him monstrously excited. Now for one final push. I thought, as I recalled, a little something Ramirez and I had discussed. I'll even put some units in place for you to fight off the adventurers with. That's right. I'm gonna recreate that game you wanted to try out. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? This, in a nutshell, was what I wanted to make. A real-time, also real-life, strategy game set in a dungeon. The idea came to me out of nowhere as I'd talked with Ramirez. I'd have units, monsters, in place to tackle adventurers along with bosses to protect the loot chests. Pardon me. The dungeon would be filled with Veldora's magicules, growing thicker as you approached the 100th floor. The force in the air would be pretty thin up top, so you'd only see minion-level monsters at first. But the deeper you got, the more higher-level foes you'd find patrolling the halls. Even in his former prison, enough magic leaked out to create Tempest Serpents, rank A-, and other powerful creatures. I couldn't even imagine what he'd create at this point.
Keep in mind
Frankly,
that Tempest Serpent was the first enemy that he encountered in this world. That was
I was going to bring that up earlier.
That was the snake he beheaded in the very beginning, and the first thing he ate. So the first enemy he encountered was an A- threat ranking. If Rima wasn't already powerful, he certainly was after eating that.
And that's not even before. That's way before the Demon Lord stuff.
God damn you, Kirby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well before. God damn you, Kirby. Fucking blue Kirby.
Frankly, the whole Gate Guardian thing didn't matter to me. I didn't really expect anyone to make the 100th floor in the first place. The key to all this was getting Veldora's aura released. It felt to me like I couldn't get away with making him keep it in much longer, but if I just left him to his own devices, he might decide to blow it all out on some empty corner of the world. I couldn't take my eyes off him for a moment, because if he erupted closer to town, maybe my administration and I could withstand it, but nobody else would. With enough magicule concentration, anything below a B in rank would die. I found it dangerous to rely solely on Veldora's willpower to keep us safe. So Ramirez's labyrinth was really a lifeboat in the nick of time.
All right, stop.
It was a completely...
Sonic?
Yeah, I wanted to bring... going back to the deliberation we did earlier, I just had a thought. What happens if someone actually beats Veldora? Somehow. Do they plan for that? I bet they do. I bet there's something is there. There's something in one of the future books, isn't there?
Listen, buddy. Wow.
I'm laughing at the absurdity of you thinking somebody's strong enough to actually take out a true dragon.
But here's what I'm more thinking. Do they have any kind of like plan for that, or is it just like
here's the thing? You know what?
if that happened?
You know what you need to actually take down a true dragon? Another fucking true dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what built this entire world?
Excuse me.
You know what the
Veldora's
god of
dad, right?
You know what the god of this entire world is? A fucking true dragon. Yeah.
That's
The highest
yeah.
form,
There's no way.
the highest form of life on this planet, physical or otherwise, is a true dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Veldora.
Yeah.
Lol.
That's
I'm just
so
more
funny.
curious if they had like a reward plan for that, or if they ever established that. Like, if on somehow some random occurrence someone manages to beat Veldora.
There are people
No.
that have sparred
No.
with Veldora.
No, I'm not even talking about. I'm just meaning like within the labyrinth. Like, what's the
think
props that they establish?
I will say that there's only one person that's encountered Veldora. And that's Hinata Sakaguchi.
Mm-hmm.
But
Really?
But even
Oh,
she-
going through the labyrinth,
but-
you mean?
Yeah, going through the labyrinth and facing Veldora, it was Hinata Sakaguchi. And and here's the crazy part: she even got a lot of advice from Luminous.
Rimuru.
She got a lot of
Luminous.
advice from
Makes
Luminous
sense.
because Luminous was like,
Oh, so she
"Fucking
had
kick
an
that
in.
wizard's ass!"
Mhm.
Fuck him up.
Here's the thing:
Yep.
Veldora's
So-
technically actually one of the weaker of his siblings. And no, it wasn't Veldora's dad that built the world; it was his oldest brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was someone up above him, like in his family.
Anyway, continuing on.
Yeah, sorry.
It was a completely sealed space, something I confirmed when I explored it myself earlier. So there was no worrying about magicules leaking out. Veldora's full aura unleashed shouldn't phase it at all. Even in the sealed cave, it'd be impossible to resist the aura of a fully revived Veldora. Not that I'd bring him down there now. What with our research facility and all, the dungeon was perfect for him, and for the purposes of my true goal. I wanted him to whip out that aura and go to town with it. Giggity.
God damn it.
My true goal, hey, they phrased it that way. My true goal, you see, was to use the large, dense cloud of magicules he'd create and generate monsters with it. The whole plan rode on that idea. Veldora releasing his aura and me making good use of it. An excellent plan if I do say so myself. 3 birds with 1 stone. Not only would it keep him from
Play
crashing my
3
house
bird.
uninvited, it also make him useful as a magicule generator for my new monster factory, giving him a job to do so he wouldn't be such a freeloader. Not that I thought anyone would actually make it all the way to his floor, though. But what did he think? Veldora stood up, placing his manga in a pocket, then extended a hand toward me, offering to shake. I like it. I like this very much, Rimuru. We will have adventurers dispatch these units so they can stand before me and I can deliver them divine justice. They try to run from me, of course, but I will never allow them to. Perhaps I could bellow something akin to, "Bah! You cannot escape me! Did you know? There is no fleeing the storm dragon!" I always wanted to try saying that, and now I've got the chance, don't I? I cannot wait to begin. Yes. His imagination was already running wild. I nodded back at him, but now I worried that I'd egged him on a little too much. Is this gonna be okay? Like, there's really no way someone will reach floor 100, right? I was a little concerned about that, but I needed to push this plan forward. Well, you're the only person I could ask to do this. Are you in? Of course, Rimuru! You've done well to reach out to me. Truly, it is a task only I am capable of. He gave me a firm nod. I'm so glad he's really that stupid. His cooperation and his reaction were even better than I thought possible.
That's cute.
The next day, Veldora and I went to Ramirez. Construction of the arena began early in the morning, and the site was alive with activity. Some of the beastmen that were out on training had come back to pitch in, following Gobqu's orders as they ran to and fro. I don't want to wreck their concentration, so we headed for the labyrinth. The moment we entered, we emerged in the room Ramirez was in. As she promised, she had been busy expanding the dungeon. Hello, Ramirez. Doing well? Ah, hello, Master. It's good to see you again. I'm doing fine. Master? Ramirez looked a tad fatigued, but eminently satisfied with herself. I advised her not to overdo it. She was now seated on Dora's shoulder. I was glad to see they were still getting along. I was glad, but it was also a problem, because the sight of Veldora was making Ramirez totally forget my advice. Just leave it to me. I'll do it. I can totally pull this off, guys. To calm her down a bit, I decided to start with breakfast.
Okay.
After that... Oh, my bad.
That's where we stop.
I think it's my turn.
Actually,
Oh,
that's
are we stopping for?
Yeah, that's the stop.
Okay, that's fair.
That's 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
it's 10:30
10:30.
for me, so
That's fair.
It's the stopping time. We covered a lot of ground, guys. We got to the part I've been wanting us to get through for a while, and yeah, dude, we started at 149. And we got all the way to 178. So we covered about 30
According to
pages
Kindle.
almost.
Yeah.
So we got
According to
Yeah,
Kindle,
we are 60% through this book.
we
Yeah,
got
61%.
we are at 178 and we need to get to 208. So yeah, I think we could do this in the next run. Get that 2.5
think it's
chug in
possible.
there. Not a problem. Yeah, so next week I think part 2 we'll be able to finish up chapter 3, not a problem. The labyrinth was the main concern. I wanted to make sure that we got to the labyrinth because it's such an interesting thing. And then, like,
You were jonesing to talk about that for so long.
I was. It's so
Jonesing.
good because the labyrinth changes everything. Because
It does, though.
if
It's
you
like-
want to do top secret shit, or if you've got like we need space for like some monumentally crazy task that someone threw onto us, put it in the labyrinth. Oh, what's
We're
that
testing
you say?
nukes.
Oh, what's that you say? I have to make a demon army because Diablo needs it? Labyrinth. Like, just random bullshit. What do we need? Oh, what? We need to do this research project for this
Military
giant
training.
nation? Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
What's that? You want to test nukes? Labyrinth.
Need a
Yeah.
place.
You want
Need
to
a
watch
place.
a movie that has David Bowie?
Need a place for our
Labyrinth.
orchestra.
Man.
Need a place for our orchestra to practice in secret. Labyrinth. Like, you know.
You want a place that we could put a whole separate anime in? Labyrinth.
Yeah.
You want to do the magic dance? Labyrinth.
You want
I'm looking at you, Damachi.
You want a bar filled with nothing but anime titties? Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Yay!
Awesome resume bar.
Favorite bar.
All right.
Yep.
Best, but everyone's gonna go in just for that.
All right, guys. That being said, I do need to make a donation incentive. Make me do a no light spoopy game playthrough. Let's see, what do I need this month that, you know what, I'll do it for 75. That's fine. Starting amount is 0. That's only half of what I still need for the month.
Make him play Five Nights at Freddy.
I'm not going to do that. Dude, it's going to be a game. Here's the thing. They don't get to pick the game. I pick the game.
Oh,
It has to be a game I already have.
Well, Five Nights at Freddy's is
yes.
like, it's startling, but it just makes me angry.
It's like
I don't know why. Like,
Also,
every time I see them, I want to like
Five
ring
Nights,
them. Like,
Five
arm.
Nights at Freddy's.
I get that.
Guys, here's the thing.
I
Five
kind
Nights,
of want to have us play that now.
guys,
No.
guys, let me just go ahead and put this out there. Five Nights at Freddy's isn't scary. It's just jump scares. That's not.
Yeah, it just makes me angry.
It's the anticipation of it, yeah.
No, the anticipation isn't. If you want a game that's all anticipation, Alien Isolation.
Yeah, that's
Alien Isolation
That
is.
true, yeah.
Alien Isolation fucks with you. Phasmophobia, especially the new map, that fucks with you. Like, even though I know that I can't be hunted when I put it on Friendly Ghost, that thing is still creepy. The new map, oh my god.
Actually, that I actually did want to bring something up with that. What happened with when I got insta killed in that last game night or whatever? That was so like when we were in the campsite or whatever.
Oh, Were you fucking around in the ghost room with a item?
I think I touched an item, maybe.
You fucked around.
Yeah,
You
okay.
fucked around
Okay.
with a ghost item.
I touched
in the
one
ghost
thing.
room. You don't. All right. Here's the thing. If you're in the ghost room when we're doing shit, or like,
It wasn't really a room though. It was like an area because it was all outside.
no. The tents count as ghost rooms.
I wasn't in the tent though.
I don't know what to tell you then. You were right where the ghost was.
Yeah, it was right by the campfire.
Then that campfire is counted as an area too. That's the ghost area.
Oh, so
Yeah.
maybe it's just right. Okay, yeah.
To you, it just seems like one big outside. To the ghost, it's like this section, this section, this section, this section.
Mm.
You were in its section. What happened was you fucked around and the ghost found out.
I touched the thing. I remember too, because like whoever it was we were playing with, like, hey, touch this thing. I touched the thing, and then I died immediately. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch his Phasmophobia stream off on his Twitch channel. Plug. There you go. And then go watch my YouTube channel, Snuggle Velocity. All the other plug. There we go.
A what plug?
Nobody asked you guys
Plugs everywhere.
No one asked anyone to plug anybody's stuff. Just putting it out there. Yeah. So yeah.
Anybody.
No. Fat Dog is not your personal plug my own channel shtick.
I plugged your channel.
So without my permission. But yeah, seriously, go check.
It's
out
his
my
circus, so it's his
Yeah.
monkeys.
Channel. Yeah, my
Yeah.
circus. But yeah, seriously, go check out my channel.
Anyway.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking at something, but.
Okay, so
You're looking at butts?
I
you're
would
looking at butts.
Going back to the Five Nights thing though, I would be interested in like us on like the Discord, like we each try a night of that, and then it's like, okay, let's say Moon gets through night one, okay, then we go to like me, I'll do night one, and then if I fail, then I have to redo night one.
Let me go
And then
ahead.
Shin does it.
Let me go ahead and shut this shit down. I'm not getting or playing Five Nights at Freddy's. I want to. If I'm gonna play horror, I'm gonna play real horror.
Okay, there we go.
If I'm
That's Markiplier's field anyway.
yeah,
That's true.
Well,
again,
he is the king.
if I'm going to play horror,
That's
I'm
fair.
going to play real horror. Okay?
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. Like, fucking. Okay, look, guys. Okay. Let me just quickly go
I was
through-
thinking of picking up like Saints and Sinners for the VR headset.
Okay.
I don't even know what
I'm
that is.
going to go ahead and go through all the scary
Okay.
games that I own at the moment. GTFO, Phasmophobia, Prey. I don't count the Resident Evil
Amnesia?
stuff, even though it's technically... Yes, I do. Could you hold on? Let me go through my list. Jesus. Alien Isolation, Amnesia the Dark Descent.
There we go.
Dead Space 2. I don't count Dying Light. It's a zombie game, but it's not. Friday the 13th, I guess, is kind of spoopy, but it's mostly player versus player, so I don't count it as quite so spoopy. In Silence is
Dead
a
by
scary
Daylight,
game, but I
yes,
don't
but
think
yeah.
it has controller support. I don't play Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Did you say Silent Hill? I wasn't paying attention.
I do not have Silent Hill, no.
Okay, I was gonna say those are spoopy.
Those are spoopy. Outlast.
Mhm.
Let's
Oh.
And yeah, most of the rest of it is just like Resident Evil or State of Decay. And while those are survival horror, they're not like spoopy.
I feel like Resident Evil and Dead Space would probably be in the same kind of category.
No, Dead Space is actual horror.
It has scary tentacle baby things.
Yeah,
I would
Dead
say that counts as
Space.
horror.
Dead Space is more horror than Resident Evil is. Resident Evil is like survivor. Resident Evil is
It's like
action survival with horror elements.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Dead Space
Fair
is
enough.
horror with action survival elements. There's a difference. Like, Jesus Christ. Just, all right, case in point, the ending, like real horror, like the U.S. tax code. Indeed. See, somebody's paying attention. All right.
Yes.
Heyo.
Hiyo. So, the only plug I was gonna do for my Twitch channel was just be like, "Hi, this me." And that's
This me.
hi, this me. That's like, if you want to follow, if you want to check stuff out on my channel, there it is. Also, apologies to everybody that we didn't do Arceology this week.
Oh, I'll be back, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I didn't play Pokemon Arceus yesterday or today.
Oh yeah.
We didn't do Arceology this week. So we kind of...
I'm sure it'll come back.
Yesterday, we spent most of yesterday dealing with AWA stuff and getting the
Yeah,
logistics
I
for
had to
that,
get that shit
which was
figured out.
way more important. Got to tell you.
Very.
Way more important. Also, I need to test something
Yeah,
out.
you can always pick up Arceus later.
Arceus.
Praise Arceus.
I don't know anybody
Praise
that calls him
Arceus.
Arceus. What's Arceus?
I think
that's
that's how
much
they
better.
say it in the main game, but
That's how they
Arceus
say.
is always.
Yeah, they
how
say
I
it in the
say
show and the
so.
movie.
That's
Yeah, they
weird.
Arceus, but
Arceus.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm used
they
to
literally
Arceus.
have a character who screams that.
I've never heard it called Arceus. That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Arceus.
watch the Arceus movie.
It's
I know it-
so
yeah, it's that
wrong to
pronunciation
hear you
too.
say it like that.
Yeah.
I think maybe
Yeah,
if you
it is-
scream
it
it,
is
it comes
weird.
out like
Here's
that.
the
That
thing:
could
if
be
you
it.
call it archaeology, it just sounds like archaeology.
Archaeology.
So
Yeah.
archaeology,
Yeah.
Arceus.
So
Mhm.
much better.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Is it Arceus?
just-
Maybe he does scream it as
Pokemon
Arceus.
I think some people say Arceus because it has like an arc around its body, but Arceus.
that's
is-
like everybody.
Yeah.
That's like everybody that sits there and
the
goes.
Deku
That's like everybody that's
Deku tree or whatever.
it's Deku. But all right, so
Yeah.
that's like
Some people
everybody
do say
that's
weird.
sitting here yelling and screaming that subs are superior and they only watch the subs and yet they pronounce it Ghibli and not Ghibli. Guys,
Ghibli.
the traditional how they pronounce it in Japan is Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Jif
And yet
peanut
these are
butter.
the same. All right, I wanna laugh at the irony that the motherfuckers that are sitting here that say it's pronounced Jif but pronounce it Ghibli. Motherfucker, pick a lane. It's either Jif
Jif
and Ghibli or it's Gif and Ghibli. Which one is it, motherfucker?
Mhm.
By the way,
Which one do you subscribe to?
By the way, the correct pronunciation is GIF, graphical interface. I've never heard it pronounced giraffical, but graphical and Ghibli. That's the correct pronunciation for both. Just putting that out there because I'm an asshole. All right. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm an asshole.
I'm still gonna say GIF.
I'm an asshole. You're still gonna say
Yeah,
GIF? You're gonna still say GIF? Good for you. You're right.
G-
It's GIF. That's how it's pronounced.
Mhm.
It's GIF,
Yeah.
and it's Ghibli with a like
GIF,
a J. GIF. GIF.
I remember
Here's the thing, guys. GIF is a picture. GIF is a peanut butter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I like both.
Yeah.
One is crunchy.
I
always thought
swear
it was
this like
good.
came up on like a
I definitely forget
distractible
about that.
podcast thing too.
One is crunchy and one moves.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Oh no.
Yeah. Nobody likes crunchy gifts.
No one likes crunchy.
Yeah.
It's a crunchy on the eye. All right, anyway,
Shoot, can you be allergic to a GIF then? Or a GIF?
I
sorry.
can be
Bleh.
allergic to some of them. Some of them are awful.
all right. Anyway, guys,
Anyway.
what'd you think of our slime ratings? Let us know down in the comments below. We've goofed off
Mhm.
long enough. We've fooled around long enough.
Yeah.
Alright.
It was fun though.
I'm
Thanks
sure
for
we
being
can
Guys-
go on a little bit longer.
Also,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
don't forget that if you're angry in the morning, be careful because you could get upset. You could slam down the pots and pans. You could slam down the sausage and the bacon, but you have to be careful with eggs.
hmm That's true.
Important life lessons here. Also, keep in mind that cake has wheat and eggs and milk
And butter.
and butter. Technically, it classifies as a breakfast food. So,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lie.
chocolate cake coming up.
I had Cold Stone for breakfast one time, and I felt like a fat ass. It was awesome.
That was great.
It was
All right.
just founder favorite. Mm.
But that having been said, let us know what you thought about today's story. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Of course,
Yeah, that's a
the
cool
labyrinth.
What's the next one you're looking forward
The
to?
labyrinth is great. I love the labyrinth,
very
dude. Oh no, we're gonna
multi-purpose, too.
be
Very
building
multifunctional.
on the labyrinth for a long while, for several volumes. The labyrinth is gonna keep going and being useful. Like we're not gonna run out of uses for the labyrinth anytime soon. It's not gonna be like the main focus, but there is gonna be a bit where we're like, oh hey, yeah, we're also using the labyrinth for this thing. And they're like, wait, what? It feels like you just jumped over and like sidestepped some very critical, important information that's like mind-blowing. Can you give us a second to process this like non sequitur you just were like tagging on there at the end? It's like this should be like the main thesis for anyone else's paper, and they're just like, oh, here's this one paragraph of oh by the way. Reaver does that a lot. He has a lot of oh by the way isms. All right.
BT dubs.
Yeah, his BT dubs are like world changing. Also, keep in mind something else. So Sonic, one of your topics of discussion that you brought up, how do you think people from this world are going to react when they see video technology displaying things and feats happening inside the dungeon in real time?
Oh,
Technology of
I think
this
they're
level.
going to react.
Technology of this level and how it could potentially disrupt the balance of power within the world.
that's amazing.
I guess in a way, you can kind of go back
Here's
to how
the
they
thing.
were reacting to
Reaver's
like
doing this stuff-
the world or
Reaver's
the
doing
worlds
this
that
stuff
they were
because-
building.
Reaver's doing this stuff because the slime just want to have fun.
Yeah.
but everybody
This is
else
for
is
him.
about to lecture the shit out of him.
Good.
Yeah, like I said, it's literally the whole thing of like Hinata going through his road compared to everywhere else. It's gonna be that, but on another level.
All right, guys, that is basically it for us. Any last minute things you guys want to say to the audience before we sign out?
Nope. Just thanks for being here. It was good to see you guys or hear from you guys. So
I like pie.
Pie are good.
I think I've
yeah,
I think I've already made my points.
All right, well, bye guys. We'll see you later.
Go with that.
Bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
I'll be streaming something tomorrow. Yeah, later.
Take care.